Hey, this is Elysian Road. We are here with episode 30-something. 39.
Oh man.
I did, like, the
Good one,
stream has the
Caleb.
right thing on it. I just wasn't looking at the title, so I had forgotten. We're getting up there, guys. We're almost level. We're almost to episode 40. So that'll be fun. It's possible that episode 40 is the last episode. I don't think it'll be this episode. I think we have at least one more episode after this. But we will see.
Especially since our pre-show was an hour long.
Yes, some people forgot to level up characters. It's fine. We're here.
Get out!
So
Get
we have a flashback here as before we get started. So I think we see a convention hall. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas about what this would look like, but this is like one of the like video game conventions that was held on the planet you guys did the gaming circuit on, right? And it would be the sort of thing that you guys would go to and make appearances at because you're famous, right? So like you have people who are like fans, or if there was someone you wanted to meet there, like a professional gamer that you had, that would be the sort of thing you guys would go to. And I'm thinking this is probably maybe like the only one of those that you all went to at the same time, right? Way back when.
We didn't know.
And maybe you knew, I think you guys were at least familiar with each other by the time the planet fell, right, to the Imperium. And so, cause then you joined forces to buy a spaceship, right? But you don't necessarily have to have known each other at this convention, whatever year it was. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of you. I think the range in which all of you were professional gamers was a little bit shorter than like the total time any one of you necessarily was a pro gamer. Like there's like Fergus is obviously 13, so like he wasn't necessarily a pro gamer for years, even though some of the rest of you might have been for a little while longer than that, But either way, this might have been the only gaming convention that all of you were actually active at anyway. Well, we see this convention hall, and a bunch of holograms of various like pro gamers that it's like cycling between like the featured gamer of like the guest of honor at this convention or whatever, right? And you see a bunch of fans like shuffling through the hall. There's like lines of to get people to sign autographs and things. And I think we kind of see progressively throughout this little flashback sequence what each of you is up to during this convention. Let's start with Evelyn, I think. So we see a whole bunch of like convention goers who are like in costume or in line for autographs or playing games at nearby consoles. But I'm curious, why is Evelyn at this convention? This doesn't seem like the sort of thing that she would go to, but what would be a reason that she would actually show up at one of these things?
Well, so when the reason that she did gaming in the first place was because it was all she knew. She was still looking for her purpose, which was
she's like, all I know is strategy.
Yeah, so she would just go and play strategy games. And that's, I mean, all of us were really good at our trade, right?
Yeah.
And so she was really good, and she would just win, and that's how she like lived. That's how she got money.
Right.
She just win strategy games.
Yep.
So to be honest, she's probably not interacting with anybody. She's probably sitting at her chair waiting for the next game to start, or waiting for the first game to start. So like the stadium is completely empty, and she's just like sitting alone at the like chair in which she will game.
Sure. Yeah. So we see
and she's like on her pad or something like that,
like practicing or something. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we see like the a giant hologram up on the top of the stadium here, and it's not necessarily like the big stadium where they were playing like the Rocket League game or whatever, but like an arena hall, right, where like a gaming showdown was supposed to go down. There's several of these throughout the convention space, but we see this big hologram up in the top, and it says like time until next game, like 2 hours and 31 minutes, right?
Yeah,
something like that, right? And Evelyn's just like sitting there all by herself. And
internally she's yelling at herself for not getting her sooner.
Right. She's like,
practice longer.
I need to practice. Yeah. And I think we see you like we see you practicing, and then next to the like big hologram that has the game timer, it's also like filtering through like this person versus this person. Like this is the sort of thing that's going to be interesting to fans when they're actually sitting down, but it's already on a loop even though no one's here.
And actually, I don't even think she's practicing. Now that I think about it, she's probably just sitting and waiting and just like thinking. Because, I mean, she's like, she never had, like, we've established in these previous like flashbacks of her gaming that nobody ever feels like a challenge to her.
Right.
So she's
just kind of like centering yourself, meditating.
Yeah, no, she's probably just sitting there thinking about like Vigo and like, what if he exists somewhere? Or maybe that's what she's searching on her data pad actually, is like looking up his like ID code that she eventually found him with, and is just like checking on different databases and stuff.
For sure.
It's just a paint drawing of a heart with E+V in
it. Yeah, she's actually doodling.
But I think we see this from Evelyn, right? We see her do this, and then we're watching the loop in the corner of our eye, on the corner of the screen here, and we see, right, Athena versus whatever, and the other person doesn't really matter, but it also cycles through your guys' avatars.
That's
right?
They don't matter.
And I'm curious, Evelyn, like, I think everyone has like their own like in-game kind of avatar that's different from what they actually look like in person, right? Like the thing that would show up, like, Ode probably has some
metaverse.
Yeah, whatever your metaverse thing is. Yeah. Right. What would Athena be, right?
Is it probably a wolf bipedal?
You're a furry?
Well, no, I'm not a furry. But that's probably the like so she obviously didn't make this, right? That's probably
this
like
is
her
you.
fandom. What? No, there's no way. She
So
literally would have just taken a picture of herself and been like, here you go. I think the fan, like, I think because she's so popular that the people who like run the like marketing of it or whatever, like asked the fans for a picture instead.
Okay.
And she was just like, sure, I don't care.
Design it out. Yeah, you let the fans design your avatar. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's an awful. No wonder you ended up as a furry.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's not a furry. Okay,
you just described a furry, Connor. A bipedal wolf. That's a furry.
Let's be honest, werewolves are just furries. All right.
Well, but it's like a anthropomorphic like wolf race. Like that's not furries,
Connor. That is the definition of furry.
No, I know, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Just because
technically a furry is just a person that wears a furry suit. So
that's different than
you can associate that with a furry, but it's not.
I get what you're saying.
I don't think I'm that either.
A furry is a really long thing. Hold on. Why is this so long?
You expected the definition to be short and understandable.
Yeah. This is like 3 paragraphs. There's no one single definition of what a furry is. All right, there we go. We're done. Even the furry people can't.
That's fine. No, that's fine. I'm actually interested in that. So we see this like bipedal wolf warrior, like probably in Space Marine outfit, right? But it's like a wolf, snarling wolf. Cool, yeah. And then we cut from there and we see Ode. Where are you, Ode, in the convention hall?
Ode is playing Super Future Guitar Hero.
Okay,
like
with like a fan or. Like I'm curious how much Ode is like interacting with his own stardom, right?
I probably not a lot. I don't know that Ode is like a super sociable person. So
you're just like playing with some random person, or by yourself or whatever. Yeah,
I think that Guitar Hero has like a head-to-head mode where you're just both playing at the same time, trying to score better. So that's probably what it is. There's like 2 things. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like those would be the sort of games that they would have. It wouldn't be like random single player games, but most likely,
I'm trying to engage people.
Yeah, trying to engage people more. Sure, yeah. So, and it's
probably some other,
thousand feet of skulls is the name of the song or something, right?
There you go.
You guys are jamming out to it.
You barely understand what they're saying, and
exactly, yeah. And it's like on the super hardcore difficulty, so like
right. Exactly.
You have to press it every like 0.01 second. And I think we see you win, right? Just like
a video game roll. Here we go. I got an 11. I gave myself 46, picked the best 2. I still got an 11. Anyways, good.
Yeah, it's actually not very good.
No.
We see you win, right? And your avatar comes up on the screen as like it says, what's your gamer tag? Did we ever decide that? I feel like we did, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember where I wrote it. I think I might have wrote it in my bio. Hold on, let me look.
Because like the game you typically played was like Triple Explosion.
Yeah.
But
let's see. Where did I write that?
I don't see any notes like that.
Yeah.
That's
you know
probably
what?
Yeah, go ahead.
There it is. I wrote it in the background thing, but it's super long. It was God of Death, but it's OV instead of OF.
Yeah.
God of, and then there's no A in death because he couldn't. Obviously, that was taken.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see God of Death come up on the screen, and then what does your avatar look like?
It's probably like if the Grim Reaper was like a super soldier. So like, there's some flowing robe aspects, but mostly it's like black power armor, and his helmet looks like a ghost ghastly hood or whatever, but it's cool. Obviously like a power armor helmet. Awesome. And he's probably like way taller than he should be.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, and so we see Ode like fist pumping or celebrating or whatever you would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we pass on from that, and then Fergus.
Guitar.
Yeah. Fergus, you walk by. And I have a picture of this, and you tell me if this is correct. You can change this if you want to, but I'm thinking it might be funny to like Ode finishes this, and then Fergus walks by, and he's surrounded by like a gaggle of fans.
That is exactly what I was about to say.
Perfect.
It's like a really like small but very niche,
dedicated
like
group of nerds,
a bunch of weird nerds in detective outfits.
Amazing.
They're like, finally representation.
Let's be honest, it's all 13-year-old girls who read Nancy Drew.
There's definitely a lot of those too, I'm sure. Yeah, so Fergus is walking past, right? And is your avatar like an investigator and like a trench coat?
It's probably him like just looking through like a microscope. Is it a microscope?
Spyglass.
Spyglass.
No.
Okay.
Are you Scruff McGruff? Are you referring to
magnifying glass? That's
magnifying glass. Yeah, not a microscope. Magnifying glass.
Yeah, and so Fergus, are you dressed in that, or is just all your fans dressed in that?
He's dressed in like a really pretentious version of that.
Sure. Yeah, and so we see all of this, and we can kind of tell like this is your get up / kind of symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally we see Dylan. Where would you be in the convention hall? And like what would you be up to?
Okay, so obviously this flashback is back when we were gamers, but that's pretty much all the context I have.
Yep, this would be like a gaming convention that you would be at for one reason or another. People come here to play games, they come here to compete in tournaments, and they come here to interact with fans or other professionals. So any of those could be an option. Till could also be here with you, right, as your chaperone.
I mean, she's probably hanging out with the one guy that she always gamed with.
Evan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Probably like getting food.
Sure. Yeah. That was actually exactly what I was imagining. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys are at the like food court, right? And you guys are talking about like whatever cool item you guys just got in the new expansion or whatever, right? Of Evercraze. And I think he's asking you, so you got the giant sword of whatever, right? Like, the epic name here. Are you going to add that to your official avatar? I mean, the stream that you had the other day where you finally won it after like 10 hours of grinding, like was, I mean, it's a pretty monumental moment for the Dylan Calorie image.
I mean, yeah, she just says Like I'm very much not in a dialogue mode right now. I'm trying
No,
to
that's
manage.
fine. That's fine. Yeah, I mainly I'm curious. Again, what I'm trying to get at for each of these is what does your avatar look like in the game, in the professional gamer circuit, right? So is yours just a version of like you as a warrior, basically?
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Awesome. Oh yeah, and so we see all of that, right? And I think maybe the last thing we see, just for nostalgia's sake, right, is we see Till walk up to you and Evan and be like, "All right, kid, next game's up. You don't want to be late, do you?" And you guys gather up your sodas and walk off, sipping on your sodas. Because this is probably like the time where it's probably shortly before everything went to crap, and Till was like kind of lost as to what to do with his life because his space trucking thing had just kind of gone down, and he's kind of like stuck on the planet for now. Oh, and that's the last thing we see as we kind of fade back into the game. And we see the 5 of you, Ziva included, right? Here. Actually, no. The last thing we see is we see a flash forward, but it's still a flashback, right? Of Ziva, going through her like her datapad, whatever thing that she has her like gaming account on, and asking you, Dylan, like, what outfit should I give my avatar, right? And she chose something. I'm thinking kind of Ruby-esque, right? So like, big old cloak and but like in a skirt as well, and
a school role if they were also a fantasy character.
Yeah, something like that, right? And a giant weapon. And obviously we come back to the present day, right? And we see that obviously you guys didn't choose those as your skins. Like you've all kind of changed, right? As what would be your go-to for like an avatar. And I'm trying to remember what they were, like just so we can get a contrast here, right? So Evelyn is like in a weird kind of like housemaid outfit, housewife, whatever, with a giant hammer. Ode,
no,
or a giant gun.
she's giant gun.
Giant gun.
Like rocket launcher or something.
Right. And then Ode, what were you? What did you choose again?
I remember it being like a big robot.
Oh, big robot.
Like,
yeah, you were just Crunch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
with guns.
Sure.
I'm gonna have a minigun actually.
Okay.
Aren't you playing support? You can't have a minigun.
No, she's mid lane.
I'm support.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Fergus, what did you choose again?
Pop star Fergus.
Right, pop star Fergus.
In other words, nothing has changed.
So like
What?
One
So it's
Direction
like-
Fergus.
The glam version.
No, like K-pop.
Like K-pop star version.
No.
Okay, amazing.
A bunch of tight leather
Yeah.
Just Seraphine, but
and
a boy.
sparkles. Yeah.
Great.
And then
Love it.
Dylan just chose a warrior version of herself. So Dylan's the only one who really didn't, change a lot in her
I mean, that
avatar
makes
choices. Yeah.
Well, no,
Okay.
it doesn't because Evelyn didn't choose that, but she's also kind of weird. So
And then Ziva
As in
has
Evelyn,
chosen
it's
kind of like
not-
an assassin getup, so she's changed slightly as well. But yeah, then we kind of get into the game starts in 3, 2, and the game begins. So we're playing a MOBA basically, right?
Story comes up. I don't know what to do.
I don't know any of the items in this
Auto-buy?
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Evelyn's like, no, you cannot do auto buy. If you do auto buy, they're gonna win.
We all sit down for the next 45
You
minutes.
have
I
to
read through
understand the
all
meta.
items.
Mid is throwing.
Yeah. Right.
Poor Carly. He's not gonna understand any of these references as we go here.
I don't think she wants to.
Honestly, probably true.
We have tokens for this, I assume.
Right. Yeah. Let me grab those. Yes. As a fun new thing. Oh man, Roll20 is the worst for some reason. It's not giving me the option to actually drag out the token like I should be able to. Like I'm supposed to be able to drag the character sheet, like the name, onto the screen, but it's just doing the blue thing. So I don't know.
Doesn't it just do that when the image is big? I feel like we had that problem before. Can you pull the other characters out?
They should be big too, I think. Maybe not. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I think they like I think after a while it loaded or something like that. I remember it being weird and doing that a few times.
Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe it's just because it was taking a while to get that all set up. Okay.
So maybe just throw it on there and let's see if it.
I mean, yeah, I just have to like kind of connect it again.
Oh, okay.
Because I can drag it from the library just fine, right?
Oh, right, okay.
It's just that I can't. It should be connected to the character sheet, but it's not for whatever reason. But as soon as I like click use selected token for it and like actually
Gotcha.
manually link it, it should be fine. Okay, I'm just getting that set up here. So did we basically say that we're going to make skill rolls for the different phases of the game? Early game, mid game, and late game, right? And then we do a final combat based on what's been happening there.
Sounds good to me. Did you want to show off the...
Yes, that's what I meant to do. So we got a new token for Ode. Same artist who's been doing the rest of them. Very, very fun. I like this one a lot. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Cool stuff. And we just need to get Dylan now, which we'll be doing soon here. Cool. So we have Evelyn in mid lane. We'll go ahead and make them kind of put them at the different parts of the map and then slowly advance them forward as we do this probably. Right. So we'll have you and Ode there. And Dylan is off lane. Ziva is jungle. Ziva there.
So do we as characters know how MOBAs work?
I would assume so. I mean, you guys are passively familiar enough with most video games, I'd assume.
Right. Okay.
Whether or not any of you were particularly good at them, you know.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, the thing about MOBAs, right,
Evelyn
is like
probably hated MOBAs because she couldn't control the minions.
yeah. But I feel like there's like a good mix of everybody's kind of thing with a game like this, right? We have strategy, you have actual shooting, right? If it's like in real life, you're actually like doing the shooting. There's paying attention to timers and cooldowns and stuff that Fergus would probably be good at, and then Dylan with the actual like melee stuff. Yeah. So Ziva's not really good at any games yet, but we'll see how well she does.
Yeah, and she has the most complicated role, so we'll probably be fine.
So how do we want to do this exactly? What order would you like to go in? Which lane do you want to do first here?
Jungle.
Yeah, let's just get jungle.
Get Ziva out of the way. See how well it's going. Sounds good. What do you guys think the skill would be for jungle? Early game jungle.
Administration? I don't know. Administers a skill, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, either administration or just, how fast she can farm.
Maybe notice, because it's all about your map.
Yeah.
Notice makes sense.
Notice would probably be the best.
But I could also, so I guess you're maybe not doing a lot of ganking in early. So it makes sense maybe to have mid game be sneak, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe we do early notice, and then we can kind of evolve it as we talk through the game stages. Cool. Yeah. So we'll have Ziva roll notice. With wisdom. Yeah. All right. Well, she got a 7. It's like a passable.
Ziva, you start blue buff. Come on, Ziva. You end the game.
Whoever is going to listen to this episode and actually knows MOBAs is going to really enjoy it. Whoever doesn't is going to be very confused.
There's going to be like, wow, what a bunch of toxic.
Yeah, we got to flame each other at least once per phase here.
So let me make a note of this as we go, right? So jungle early is passable. We'll say 7 is a passable.
You gonna roll against somebody.
Actually, that's what it should be, right? It should be rolling against somebody. And this is something that you guys figure out early on. So we start off with Ziva, right? We see Ziva like trying to figure out like which places to farm and stuff like that, and she's like asking everybody through the mind link, like, I don't understand. There's a big red guy in front of me. Should I kill him first, or should I kill the group of people on the left?
They all answer her at once. Like, yeah, kill him, but you got to make sure you do hunt at the right time.
Right, exactly. There's also this timer in the middle of the map. There's like a big dinosaur in there. What should I do about that? And then she tries to go for, let's say she goes for like the dinosaur, right? Like the fang tooth of this game. And
the dragon.
She gets there really late. Like, because she's still like frantically trying to figure out how to do this. And she's like, oh no, I forgot about the timer. And she like rushes across the map, right? We're watching her do this. And she gets there just in time to see someone who looks like her old avatar from her like, from her game console or whatever, right? Like this kind of Ruby-esque schoolgirl outfit with a big weapon. Kill Fangtooth or Dragon or whatever it is, right? Right before her, right before she gets there. And the person turns around and it's just her, right? It's just like her avatar. And that's when we start scanning across the map and we see everyone's just fighting themselves, except their old avatar version of themselves. So Evelyn, you're fighting like a wolf in a Space Marine outfit, right? Ode is fighting like a Grim Reaper. So it's Crunch versus what's his face?
Oh, Severog.
Ode's David's worst nightmare. Fergus is fighting against a Sherlock Holmes, basically, right?
He only has 2 hit points, right? Like Fergus did at that age.
Yeah, right.
And Dylan is fighting against basically the same, like a mirror image of herself, right?
That's gonna be really confusing later on in the team fight. We're like,
someone decided to play the same character as me. This is so lame.
Excellent.
That's when you really got to pay attention to minion kills.
So what I'm going to do then is it's just going to be like you're rolling against yourselves, right? So I'm going to roll a notice for Ziva. And so that's good.
Wow.
So I guess what actually happens is she gets to the dragon, right? And all of you scream at once, use your hunt ability, right? And like she throws this dagger at the dragon right before her alter ego kills it, and so gets the kill at the last second instead of getting it stolen from her, right? And she's like, I did it, I'm playing a game. Cool. And who do we want to go to next for?
So I don't think Evelyn is playing the game, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that. I mean, I think she's playing the game the wrong way it's supposed to be played, but I think she's playing from home base, right? And is trying to use the lead skill to help everybody.
She's not paying attention to her old lane.
Yeah.
And
mostly because I think she is still on the thing of like, this doesn't matter. We just need to get out of here.
Right.
So she's just like, I think is probably going to just like ask. And if this just doesn't sound fun, maybe we can try and come up with a reason why she's not going to do this. But
I mean, just everyone else is toxic in chat, and then you feel really bad about yourself.
Why are you late? They already had your first timer. What are you doing?
Yeah, see, that's not. I don't think that would really change your mind.
Honestly, yeah, probably true.
You don't win faster by losing.
Yeah. She'd probably just say jungle death. No.
Right.
She's
Listen,
probably like,
I don't care if no one understands this part of the game. This is fun.
Yeah. She's probably just like, why Fergus? Why don't we just like cheat and hack the game? You know what I mean?
You could try that, I suppose.
So
let's have Evelyn roll a no then.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Right, instead of lead, you're just trying to like find the glitches.
I mean, that's all mage characters do anyways. They just cheat and they blow you up.
It's like playing a Magic the Gathering, but with blue and black.
Okay, here's what needs to happen, right?
Much.
So what happens is we've got We've got one Evelyn standing here and one Evelyn standing here, and they're just looking at each other and trying to out hack each other, out psychic the future each other, and there's neither of them are doing anything
except for the wolf. The wolf version got a 13. So I think this is Evelyn's downfall, right? It's just she's trying to not play the game. And I think you and Fergus probably quickly realize this is not a game you can mess with anymore. Like, you've gone into some deeper level of the dreamscape that he's developed for you, and you just have to play along. Otherwise, you're going to be punished.
Old magic. You don't quote the old magic to Aslan. You just play the game.
Sure. Yeah. It was almost as if the first games that you were in was like a test or like just playing with you, and this is the real thing, sure. Right? And Evelyn realizes that after like failing mid lane pretty hard here.
Sure.
Yeah, Evelyn, I don't know if you've ever played MOBAs before, but you're not just supposed to stand under tower.
I was like, no, I'm trying to maximize my items.
You don't get items unless you kill minions, Evelyn.
I'm getting passive XP from all of you.
I don't even know how that works.
Nope.
I mean, it is how that works. You get or not XP, sorry, gold. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I mean, you just get passive gold in general, not from other people.
That's
unless you take a tower.
Yeah.
It's okay. Caleb doesn't know how to play MOBAs.
No, I just forgot that XP and gold were different for a second. I knew what I was saying. I saw it in my head. I just forgot which number was which.
Yeah.
Who's next? Dylan or Odin Fergus?
I guess we can go and give Carly a little bit more of an idea of what's going on.
Sure.
All right. Cool.
So yeah, what skills are you using to do your stuff? Obviously, Ode probably just shoot, right?
I'm gonna shoot people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Fergus.
All right, Fergus. Here's the deal. I'm gonna shoot him. All right. Let's do it.
Fergus, I am assuming you're kind of doing Bioscion, maybe.
Yeah.
You're just doing healing.
That makes sense,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's other stuff that supports can do, but that's probably the main thing. Cool. Yeah, go for it. Ode, go and roll yours first, and we'll see.
Oh well. Oops.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah. We'll roll. I'll roll for you. So I'll do the same.
I got a 1 and I got
same order. So Fergus against Bioscion Fergus. So you succeed over
fake me.
Your other version, and wouldn't it be so awful if I just rolled video game for all of them? Right. The 46 plus 4 that Ode has on his sheet. They just got to cheat.
Oh my god.
So gosh. Your Reaper version out carries you.
Great.
What is it about that makes you fail? What do you think, Ode?
Yeah, I don't know. My gun doesn't shoot far enough. Why does it keep stopping 10 feet in front of me?
I'm imagining that maybe Ode just isn't vicious enough. Maybe his time, because like his time in real life has like dulled his instinct of like shoot first, ask questions later, because like, and even though he has like the stun gun and stuff, like there's still been many times during the campaign where he's like actually shot a real person and that's like messed with him. So maybe he's like he's just not in the zone like he once was with this, where he could just be unbelievably ruthless, because it still feels real to him.
Yeah, maybe it's hard for him to treat it like a game, I guess. Sort of.
Yeah, Ode's starting to, he can't go back to being the same video game monster he once was. It's not the same anymore. And then Dylan, I'm assuming you're just doing like stab here, right? This is just so for
I suppose I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. So
we're fighting.
for your reference. Basically, what's happening is like you're killing like all these like minions in the game, and then there's like an alternate version you who's also trying to kill you, and you're just trying to like push forward in this like on this map and try to like kill their minions while your minions go forward and destroy their buildings and stuff. So
Okay.
basically it's Dylan just fighting, right? So
They're basically just
knows how to
meeting
do that.
in the middle of this path and trying to kill them and their stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll for alternate version you, and then you can roll for yourself. I'm not really sure why I did dexterity, but make that a 9. Should have been 9. So yeah, Dylan, go ahead and roll stab with strength. We'll see how it goes. You have to beat a 9.
I got 1 and 3.
So I'm just rolling stab. I don't get to use any of my special.
Yes, indeed. You're just doing
Wounds.
skill. Yeah.
That's
These are just
sad.
skill rolls, yeah. So they're weirdly absent of all of our superpowers.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah. So, you know yourself very well, and you can fight against yourself. And that's probably what it is for you, Dylan. Is just like this is just you, right? Like for everybody else, there's like weird alternate versions of them, and like weird previous avatars. You haven't changed a whole lot. So Dylan's just like still fighting herself. So that means we have 1 win from Ziva. A loss for Evelyn, a win for Fergus, a loss for Ode, and a win for Dylan. So we have 3 wins and 2 losses for that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. So mid game, you guys push up. Ziva's up a little bit. And we'll just go in the same order, I think. So Ziva is starting to get the hang of the routine of going to all the different places in the jungle and defeating all the and ganking. That's what's happening now is right. She's gotten the routine down, and so now she has to jump on the rest of the enemy. And we'll see how well that goes. So
Should we do it where you can't use the same skill again, just so we're not just...
I think so. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool.
So sneak. So yep, still doing well against her alter ego.
Nice.
So she defeats. It's a hair's breadth away from it. So there's definitely some tension, but Ziva takes to the ganking part of it with a lot of fun. And this is the thing, like you guys are actually like dying, right? And then respawning like you would in a MOBA.
Right.
So once she like gets over the fear of death, right? She's just like, let's do this, right? And just takes so many risks, but like they pay off. Cool. And then Evelyn, if you're not doing no, what are you doing now?
Now, so we're still all connected with the mindscape thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think now she's probably doing lead and is just like doing more like team chat than she is doing her lane.
Yeah. Mid lane's not that important, is it? Just
can the bonus be can the attribute bonus be intelligence?
Sure, that's fine.
Oh, and we were also going to do a +1 if we won early lane, right? Into the mid lane, because we have better items and stuff now. Isn't that the idea?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So Ziva would have gotten a +1 there. That makes sense.
Right, but she didn't need
So
it,
yeah. So Evelyn, go ahead and add a +1 as a modifier. That makes sense. Or sorry, did you succeed or you failed?
Oh, I failed.
Yeah. So
I
-1.
figured we would do it as a team, but if you want to do the individually, that works too.
Let's do individual. I'm trying to think of how MOBAs actually work, though.
Well, it depends on. Just think about in terms of like how you want the show to be for this episode, right? Like, do you want the climax to be each person doing their thing, or do you want the climax to be us as a group doing our thing?
What do you guys think? What's
all for
more
one or
interesting
one
to you?
for all?
I think with the amount that we're abstracting this, that doing it as a team is probably fine.
Okay. Yeah, let's do +1 then for everybody.
Okay.
Since you got 3 wins last time, so
Those are all
So,
also be like team fights.
If we win more than we lose, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
We get a +1. Okay. That is a 15.
Whew. Nice.
Dang.
Wowzers.
And this means that the alternate versions of you get a -1. I think, right? So this is how we change it's just a random roll because you have to roll in the same exact skill, and if you actually win, then you can get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So your wolf version is also doing lead, and you got a 9. So yeah, you were good there. So we got 2 wins. Odin Fergus, what are you guys using?
Telepathy. So I could let everyone know what's going on. Pinging.
Yeah,
Telepathy.
you're doing words, telepathic words.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I know that. Go for it.
That's what support does, right? They roam and do words in mid-game.
So yeah, do telepathy with +1.
Oh, well, that's a 16.
So 16
I
then.
have the +1.
There you go.
Very good. Yeah, they got a 7.
Wow.
Very good, very good. And then Ode, what are you doing?
Maybe we'll do notice since Ziva's doing well with ganks. Can try and like trick them into that.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Suppose intelligence, right? Oh, wisdom.
Yeah, probably wisdom. So they got a 6.
Oh, I didn't give myself a +1. It didn't matter. What?
Whoa.
I got 2 6s. I was like, I didn't know I could roll that.
So you got a 14 altogether. Very nice.
Sweet. Apparently, I'm a lot better at letting other people kill people for me.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're already at 3 wins.
Good job, Ziva. You did it. High five. Then we blow up their tower.
We're at 4 wins, rather, yeah. And then I'll roll for Dylan here. Not that it matters too much, but just for sake of, we'll do notice for her.
We're also doing 3 rounds, and you have 2 towers and a thing, so it could be like, we lost this tower, and we lost this tower.
What? Oh, I think I wrote that in wrong.
Then we both lost half of these towers.
You're not supposed to put a plus in there?
Huh? Oh yeah, you got +1 in there for some reason. The modifier.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Even without the minuses, they're just rolling horribly.
Apparently Ziva's just living in off lane, and
yeah, probably. Dylan's just very good at noticing when they're like letting her know when they're
yep.
When they're vulnerable. Cool, yeah. So
there you go, we did it.
So late game.
Team fights.
So Ziva will do probably just shoot. And she has a +2 now. Oh, I keep doing that. I keep doing plus instead of just writing it 2. All right, so she got a 10.
Her other roll was way better.
And even with a -2, they got an 11. So that's a fail from her. So she was getting too confident, and her alter ego started killing her. Started farming her over and over again. So failure there. And then Evelyn, you're muted.
Yeah. Is it my turn again?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
This is the team fight phase, right?
Yeah, more or less. So I think just shoot for you as well, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I will roll shoot. Do you want me to roll my mag rifle or shoot skill?
Shoot skill.
Okay.
And you need to beat a 6.
And the modifier is 2 now, right?
Yep. +2. Or yeah, just write in 2. Don't make the mistake
Plus
I did.
dex.
Yeah, it's cumulative. Yeah. So there you go.
There we go.
Sounds good. So even when Evelyn
Tried to lose that roll.
once Evelyn stops trying to play the strategy game and just gets into the trenches with the common folk, she still does well.
Now that she's behind on all that gold, CS.
She lets you guys do all of the like tanking of damage and things, and she just gets in like opportunistic.
Yeah, she just waits, and then Gideon ults, and then runs away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Ode Fergus.
Go
Go
first.
first.
I think for you, Fergus, maybe telekinesis.
Telekinesis, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And then Ode.
Oofed.
Oh, I guess it's 12. Do we get another +1 from that?
You got a plus two
now, 'cause
so you
we're
got
on
13 altogether.
okay.
Yep.
The snowball. The MOBA snowball.
Indeed. Yep. So you beat that there.
Nice.
What are you doing, Ode?
They do exert as they run around.
Makes
do the
sense.
different team
Yep.
fights. Sprint around. Assume is that dexterity or strength?
Either one is fine.
Matter. Well, it does actually, but we're running the same thing. All right. I didn't add a +2 to that.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They failed very
I bought
badly.
boots and they didn't, so now that's a League of Legends joke. Anyways,
Cool. And then I'll just go ahead and roll for Dylan here. Not that it really matters, but I just am, as we're going through these, we've already gotten all the wins we need.
We should get a scene of the last fight so we get some narrative imagery of the climax.
Yeah, for sure. Of course. I'm just gonna roll this real quick.
Inhibs.
Whew.
Wow. Double sixes.
15 for Dylan against a 9. Yep. So even though Ziva lost that one, it doesn't matter. You guys helped her the rest of the way. So it really does feel like fighting yourself, right? Like they know all of your tricks, or at least it feels like at the beginning, right? Like when you're still kind of rough, like not sure what to do here. They know all your tricks, but then it turns around when you realize you know all of theirs, right? You're like, wait a second. No. And the thing that they don't have, the thing that you realize they don't have probably is that like teamwork, is that leadership, right? Because they're kind of just like incarnation, like isolated incarnations of you. They don't have the relationship with each other. They don't have like the experiences of the team all to working together. It's just these kind of, it is indeed you guys before you were a team, right? It was you guys as individual gamers, just playing for fun and for money. But, and you realize at the end of when you get towards the last couple of team fights, right? You're like, the way this worked is because we fought together now throughout the whole thing.
Plus we had telepathic discord and they didn't, so.
Also true. Yeah.
We should have gotten an extra turn.
There you go.
So do you have any description to offer here for the last bit? I don't really know if we need to actually play out like a combat. Like you guys pretty much steamrolled.
Right. Yeah, I think at this point it's basically just them sitting under their towers and just taking pot shots at them until we wipe them, right? And then we just bowl over them.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how every game of Paragon ends.
I'm dabbing. I'm doing my Fergus dance. the dance emote.
Is that your ult?
It's the floss.
Oh gosh.
And so I think we just see like the victory come up on the screen, right? A big holographic victory over their
explodes.
Yeah, over their core. And they all kind of fade away into nothingness. And you see the portal that's behind their core, right? Behind their like base here, like show something beyond it instead of just like this weird energy. It's just like it shows probably just like a void again. But before it was like the shimmering energy, and now it's like it seems like the same sort of space you were in like when you were in the multiplayer lobby. That's like this kind of weird blackish void. Seems to be beckoning you forth.
GG Fergus. High five.
I didn't even have to use my powers. I'm not any closer to exploding. Thanks, guys.
I mean, technically you did twice. 3 times. You rolled? No, I think that counts. You rolled telepathy, you rolled bioscion, and you rolled telekinesis.
That shouldn't count.
I think it does.
We're in like a non-consequential. I mean, we didn't die in real life when we died here, so we're clearly not using our real bodies, right?
No.
We're damaging mental constructs with fake
I think
bullets.
the clock advances. The clock is now 8.
That's insane.
You could have chosen non-psychic skills to use.
Yeah, but you didn't charge it after the first one, so I'm like, oh, I guess I'm dead.
I just forgot.
You should use talk, your other skill.
I should have.
I don't
Your
think I would have
other
let you use
skill.
talk. I don't know if that would have made any sense.
Oh, you can program talk and no.
Program might have made sense, but not talk. You don't need to convince the avatars of anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, you guys go through the portal.
I throw a rock into it. Pick up a minion and I throw the minion into the portal.
Yeah, it rolls and comes to its feet. It seems fine
Fergus
though.
takes
Like,
back what he says and says, "I'm not doing too good, guys."
Yeah, maybe you should play off the.
Well, you probably do say those things, then you just like puke up blood.
I'm kidding. Yeah. I'm not doing too good.
I'm in danger. All right. Maybe we should lay off the psychic juice. Don't you have a stim that gives you
Effort back.
effort or strain back? Maybe if you use that, it'll like sort of chill some of the. Because the whole idea is that it reduces the strain of psychicness on your body, right? That's what getting
Something
effort
like that,
back
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe
do
you could
that,
try
Caleb.
that.
Do I get any extra time?
What do you mean?
I use that stim. Do I get any extra time?
How does it work again? Which one is it?
I think you get
it's
like
the
1d4. Yeah, you get
micro
1d4 strain, or not strain.
Effort.
Psychic juice, yeah. Effort
Is it
back.
1d4 or is it 1d4 plus 1?
I think it's 1d4 because I remember getting one and feeling like it was a huge waste, but I could be wrong. You have it in your thing, right, Fergus?
Yeah, is it in your character sheet?
I think so. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, go ahead and look for it, and I'll
Like an
try to find it.
enormous list of stuff.
Here we go. Pharmaceuticals. What was it called?
Micro purgator stim. I found it.
Yeah, there it is. Does it actually say?
Ugh, dang it! It's in a tiny box. I can't see.
Can you and clicking on it won't like. Here, I got you.
Gotta go to effort or not edit.
Removes 1d4 points of accrued system strain from the user. Only one such stim can be applied to a person within 24 hours. We might have broken that other part of the rule. I feel like we used more than one.
I don't think we did. I think we
used a bunch of other different stims.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll roll a 1d4 here. Okay, you get one back.
What? No, Caleb. I'm using.
You want to roll?
So I get to roll.
Oh, okay.
There.
2. You're welcome.
Isn't it a +1? Or is it
No,
just...
it's not.
No,
Just
it's
a
just
d4.
1d4.
I get 2 more uses of my ability.
Yep. So now it's down
Cool.
to 6.
Right. Good deal.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's actually at 7 because I counted that wrong. It would have gone up to 6 and then 7, or no, it was at 6 and it would have gone up to 7 to 8 and then 9, and then back 2, so 7. It was at 6 before. I just counted wrong when I. No, sorry, it's clock 5. Okay. I'm just misremembering everything. Okay, it is at clock 6 now.
Did that help? Do you feel any better?
I feel a little better. I think I got like two more casts out of that.
Okay, that's weirdly specific. Well, let's not push that.
Yeah, so you guys kind of like step into the void space. And
go. What game do you think this is going to be? I vote Guitar Hero.
And you're kind of like waiting, and like you
Guitar Hero.
you turn around and you see, you were expecting to see like another multiplayer lobby screen hanging up there, but you look back and there's no portal, and you're just in blackness. And
I think it's a horror game. I don't like this one.
I think that's probably the moment where you see Sigmund just standing in front of you, and he says, well, you did much better than I expected. I thought the game would keep you more occupied than it did.
Yeah, we're pretty good at games. Can we get out now, please?
Well, the answer to that question is obviously no. I've been keeping you here for a purpose, and the stalling isn't yet complete.
How about you let us out, or else I'll self-destruct and kill everyone.
Sure, go for it.
Roll. Dang it.
Yeah, I mean, you could roll talk roll, but I think it's not that he's calling your bluff; it's that he doesn't care.
Okay.
Right? He's like insane enough that it doesn't bother him.
That's only a 9 anyway.
Yeah.
So we just stay here until we like die of malnutrition. I don't.
Well, you stay here until you're no longer a nuisance.
That's what I said.
Wait. Ooh, you know what?
What?
Evelyn, can you roll a no to see what kind of psychic ability he's using? Or, Evelyn, can you tell what kind of psychic ability he's using?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely roll a no.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the same powers that Dylan and I do, and those are like not known powers. So this is probably one that Caleb made up. 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's likely just a combination of telepathy and metapsionics, right?
Okay. I'm
Just
going to
like a psionic suppression sort of thing that keeps you guys from using your powers to escape, and then
can I
telepathy to keep you trapped
spend
in your mind.
2 times to use the metapsion ability that lets me be immune to a specific type of thing.
Isn't that like a level 4 one?
That's why it costs 2.
It costs. I'm confused as to what you're.
He wants to spend 2 things of his class to use an ability that's like super way above what he has.
Yeah.
I'll let you push it up to 11, and you can do that.
What? Okay, no, never mind.
Well,
I need to save that for later.
He also established that if we did that he would just kill us, basically. Because you were gonna try and not get pulled in the first place. He was like, if you do, you'll just die. So
yeah, I was hoping it would disrupt all of us.
Right.
Since I'm in it.
So I think he's just like still standing there. He's like, well, what do you want to talk about? You'll be in here for a while, and I can think about a lot of things at once. So I'm happy to have a conversation if you'd like.
Divide by 0.
He rolls his eyes. I'm not a robot. You can't get me to malfunction by giving me an impossible problem.
I shoot your
God
brain,
lift a rock too heavy that even he couldn't lift.
Could God lift a rock so heavy that he couldn't lift it?
Yes.
That's not how it goes.
Exactly. I'm trying to confuse him. While Owen does something to get us out of here.
Go back in time so that he never put you in this dreamscape in the first place.
Right, yeah. If I shoot your brain, does it hurt your body?
Why don't you try and find out?
I shoot him in the foot.
He dies.
There we go.
Sorry, Kev, you didn't answer fast enough.
I rolled a 4 on that.
I got you though. Don't worry. He dies.
Yeah, so you're shooting through him. It's just kind of like going through like it's a hologram, right? And he says, "Don't worry. I'm making sure that the sector is safe and that everyone is safe. You know, I'm giving everyone what they really need in this life."
Love?
Guys, sort of. Well, yeah.
What did you say first?
Love?
He just like stares at you. He's like, "Sure, something like that." All right. He looks at an imaginary watch that he's not even wearing, even in his dreamscape version. He's like, and done. All right. Well, I can let you go now. I've done everything I needed to do. Thanks for playing.
Oh.
And he
We're
disappears.
all gonna be dead when we get back, aren't we?
He disappears, and you guys just blink, and you're back in the same hallway. And no one else is there, right? Like the Imperium is gone. Sigmund is gone. Except for you see, the first thing that you guys see standing in front of you is you see Chloe with a gun in her hand. She's standing on her feet, and Vigo is slumped against the wall of the corridor, seemingly dead.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, he was waiting for the timer of someone who's dead to wait out so you couldn't revive him, isn't he?
Oh,
That's what you see.
no. How long were we in that guy's weird?
It's hard to
world?
say.
Your watch.
Is it at least an hour?
It's been close to that, but maybe not quite.
So not an hour.
No.
So not enough.
Okay. Well, I guess I shoot Chloe again.
You just shoot Chloe.
Yeah.
Go for it. I mean, unless you.
Okay.
Actually, I don't even think there's a possible way you can admit. Like, even if you get a 1, you get a 21, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I think you just do it.
Okay.
And she collapses to the ground. And she's obviously not dead, right? Like, she's just stunned.
Right. Yeah.
I'm curious about how Evelyn reacts to that moment, though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So my initial thought is just that she just like yells to Fergus, yes, thank you,
Yeah.
to like just go over and revive him. So I think she's probably like, yeah, you should like Fergus go revive him. We'll take out Chloe.
I
got it.
Can I? Caleb, is that an option?
Make a luck save. Nice.
I say I failed every single one to succeed in the last few episodes.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. So Fergus, like, he's inch of life left. You can heal him.
I don't.
Wow.
You just stand there. You look back at Evelyn.
Sorry, Evelyn. It's too late.
Can you imagine?
Oh, you think I'm joking? I am.
Man, that would be a reversal for sure.
But I do pointedly look at Evelyn. But I do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing we never really resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do?
I heal him.
Right. I mean, everybody, like, after that happens.
So he just did all that so that why didn't he just I'm really confused. If all he wanted to do was shoot Vigo, why didn't he just do that?
For real.
I don't understand. I guess we could ask her, but she's unconscious. Yeah, probably shouldn't waste a psychic juice on that, Fergus, right? You're feeling, yeah, it was maybe not. So what now? I guess we find the map so that we can go back into the brainscape again and do this all over.
Yeah, I mean, the hallway is silent. Like, the whole temple seems silent.
You do like a brain scan. Are there people around? Just look at. Maybe not you, Fergus, because.
Aha! Mind tracing, level 1. The Metascion can trace back the use of psionic powers they've noticed in their presence.
Yes, I mean, if you mark the clock 1, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, I do that for stupid
Sigmund.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fergus, you pay attention, you think through this, and you can sense that he is in orbit above the planet.
Is he on? Hey guys, sorry, but I gotta go. Fergus teleports to the Hephaestus engine.
Time out. You take somebody with you.
I don't know, Caleb. If you let me spend 4 effort, can I teleport to the Hephaestus engine and bring everyone?
Can you go that far? What level did you get from her?
Well, Caleb let me spend 4 for the level 4 ability last time, so I assume.
That's fine. Yeah,
if I spend 4,
that's fine. Yeah.
That's fine.
So one note, as I think you guys missed, but Robin isn't here. Your dad isn't here.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, he's up there.
Well, you have a telepathic link with him.
Yeah.
So yeah. You can. Do you want to talk to him?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to him before you teleport?
I mean, I could just sense where he's at. Is he at the Hephaestus engine?
Yes.
Okay. Well, will you let me bring someone with, or is that pushing?
So what is the teleportation stuff?
I mean, level 4 lets me teleport to basically anywhere in orbit, which would be the ship.
You want to bring everybody with you?
But
I don't
that
think
might be more than that.
That's just a talent, or not a talent. Basically, like if you were to have bought all the way up to that point in skills, you could have easily have gotten that with the free focuses. Talent.
I don't know enough about teleportation. I'm looking for it right now.
I think you can take I want to say it's 3 other people. I could be wrong.
And so, but you're saying spend 4 effort or mark the clock 4?
Mark the clock 4 to be able to spend.
Then 100% you can. Yep.
I can bring everyone.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh
okay.
Goodness.
Because that's it's literally like an inch from death. Like this is Fergus's last burst of psychic stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think
I
so.
want to teleport directly, in front, with touch. I want to teleport touching the Hephaestus engine.
Okay. So right, Fergus, we see Fergus notice this. Maybe you say wait, where's my dad? And then Fergus traces, we see in his mind, he looks up, and then everyone just blips out of existence, and back on your ship. And with
I do the thing
right next to the Hephaestus engine, and the room, there's a bunch of Imperium dudes, right? A bunch of Imperium soldiers. There's a bunch of dead White Sun Brotherhood people. Scattered around the room. Robin is being held by the Master of War, by one arm. Sigmund is just about to touch the Hephaestus engine himself. And that's when Fergus teleports in. And I'm assuming what happens, right, is you guys teleport in, and then Evelyn, Dylan just immediately start firing, right?
Yeah,
just to just to fire at everyone. And then Fergus, I
spend my last effort.
You look at Sigmund, you look Sigmund in the eyes, give him a wink, and then touch the Hephaestus engine first, right?
And then I do the synthetic adaptation metascion ability, level 1.
Would you like to read what it does?
This is a particularly esoteric technique that requires the adept to have at least program 0 or fix 0 skill in order to master. With it, the metascion has learned how to synergize with the quantum intelligence of a VI or true AI in order to apply telepathy or biopsionic powers to their inanimate corpus. So, yeah.
So
I become one with the AI.
Wait, doesn't that just mean that you can use psychic powers on AI?
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like you can just heal it.
No, I'm gonna biopsion power. I'm gonna metamorphosize it into my body.
That's the other way around than what I was thinking. So you want the Hephaestus engine to be inside of you as opposed to you being inside the Hephaestus engine.
Yeah.
You want to become the Hephaestus engine instead of the Hephaestus engine becoming you.
Does it specify psychic abilities? Can you read it again?
It's biopsion powers or telepathy.
Or telepathy. Okay, cool.
It's either of those two, which I have 4 in.
Yes, right, yeah.
So
Okay,
I'm essentially fusing mind and body with it.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, and so you're not trying to
That's cool.
subsume your identity into it. You're trying to subsume its identity into you.
I mean, like,
basically,
kind of
you want to be
fusion.
a living Hephaestus engine.
You
That's
put
what
on
you
an
want to
earring. You put an earring on the reactor. And
We-
it goes, fusion, ha! And then
Yeah,
they
we do
become
the
somebody
little
else with
fusion
different
dance.
names Yeah.
Right, obviously.
with blue hair or whatever.
Well, which one would be better?
That's what I'm trying to think of. Like, I think
Well,
it's more
One
plausible
of
with
those.
it's more plausible
your
with
box.
right, exactly. It's more plausible with the technique that you've described to have it go into you, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure how that works.
Well, I've already gone inside of it, so we may as well just do the other one.
Right, that's true. It's definitely not what people would be expecting. Like, I was immediately like, oh, you're just going to be Evangelia now and just like be in the, but no. The Hephaestus engine is going to go be in you. Okay, so you spend your last effort. You do that.
Then the whole universe blows up. There's a second scream. We all die. All right, GG.
And you go back into like its mindscape, right? As you're trying to like you're using telepathy and biopsionics probably to have to make this process work. And so you're talking to it, right? And you hear it say, kind of like from all around you in this mindscape. Are you sure this is what you want?
Well, it's either this or explode and kill everyone that I care about. So, yeah, let's do it.
Do you understand what this will do to you? You will never be the same again. You will never live a normal life.
I haven't been living a normal life in quite a while.
And I think you see two paths ahead of you, right? See 2 roads that you can walk, in your mind's eye and, figuratively. One is, and you can tell the Hephaestus engine is the one offering you this, right? One is become the Hephaestus engine, save the universe, don't blow up, get this power and sacrifice yourself for a noble cause. And the other one is find a corner of the universe to live peacefully. But knowing that the Imperium will control everything.
Oh, well, I gotta destroy the Imperium.
Yeah. And the Hephaestus engine seems to nod, even though you don't have any sense of like physicality from it, right? It's maybe you know that it's nodding because you nod, right? And you, as you're beginning to fuse, and you hear in your mind's eye a voice say, "There's no greater love than this, that a man would lay down his life for his friends." And then we see Fergus like light up, glow white, right? With like this, like, because the Hephaestus engine kind of was like a milky white coloring. And we see you just kind of like become like this weird kind of like automaton for a second. And then because you have biopsionics, like your skin and muscle and stuff like grows over it, right? Like you kind of like make yourself into like a robot chassis, and then that becomes like your bones, and then the rest of it kind of grows over. And so you look normal, like you look like Fergus. But we know beneath there is like an actual like machine. And Sigmund is like just staring in horror at you. And trying to decide what happens.
Even in science fiction
no one
games,
out crazies Fergus.
There you go. Even in science fiction games, you somehow ascend to godhood. I don't.
It wasn't even my goal this time, but Caleb just set it up with giving me metascion powers.
What do you want to do with this exactly? Right? You can power things with a touch, but like, what does that mean for you?
No. I mean, Fergus's only thoughts at the time were, don't let him get it, and don't stop exploding.
So I think what happens is Sigmund just is staring, and he says, You. well, that's fine. If I can't have it as a cold hunk of metal, I'll rip it from your flesh. And then he like suddenly sprouts like a bunch of tentacles from his back, and his eyes glow black, and like you can tell like the kind of psychic madness and ferality that he's had always behind his skin suddenly just like comes out, and he becomes like a Cthulhu monstrosity as like he just lets his psychic powers just go, right? He's been holding them together, and he's probably like the most powerful psychic in like the whole universe. And he just lets it go in that moment and just becomes like incarnate, like cosmic god of darkness sort of a thing, right? And Fergus, I think it's with your psychic abilities and the new Hephaestus engine power, you're barely able to keep the ship from just going into basically what amounts to a black hole and having all of your friends die instantly. And I think maybe what happens is you just like teleport them all away.
Yeah.
Right. So I think what happens, right, is we see him change into this cosmic horror, and then we get a wide shot of the space battle, right? And the Imperium has kind of like stopped firing because, or like maybe there's like a couple of scattered skirmishes with the White Sun Brotherhood, but like the main ship, your guys' ship, the frigate, was captured, right? Like the Imperium got there, like Sigmund and them got there, so it wasn't firing on anyone or whatever. They did something to the AI or something, right? With Sigmund's magic, psychic power stuff, right? And then we just see it implode. We just see it tear apart into a black hole, right? It just starts crushing itself into smaller and smaller pieces and then just disappearing. And we just see Fergus and this cosmic horror, which is kind of just like a literal like kind of like silhouette of pure blackness at this point. You're just floating in space, and you see Fergus is like the shining white figure, and this is like the cosmic black figure, and we think like, oh my gosh, everyone just died except for Fergus. But then where do you teleport them, Fergus?
I mean, I can only teleport like a planet.
It should be like,
so it would have to be this planet, unless you're letting me teleport anywhere. Is
it Akoto and Jenkins are just about to get a ship, and then everyone just like teleports right there?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it should be like Aang when he does the water monster thing, and he's floating inside of it, except we're all just floating inside of your weird light bubble.
Giving me the strength of friendship.
Yeah.
What do you think, Fergus? Is it what is it?
It'd probably just be to Jenkins, because
sure.
I think one of the teleport abilities is teleport somewhere to someone you're familiar with.
Sure, yeah, makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we see Akoto like and Jenkins like firing at some killing like the last of an Imperium squad that was like stopping them from taking the shuttle, and Jenkins is like, okay, finally, now we just need to make sure that there's no security override. We need to security override the shuttle and then get it over to that temple as quickly as possible. To that crater as quickly as possible, and then everyone teleports right there. And Jenkins is just like, what? Yeah. Well, that was quicker than I thought.
Yeah, I don't know either.
We failed.
Well, Fergus isn't there.
Oh, okay. Right.
You're still hanging in space with the. I mean, you could teleport yourself away if you'd like. I just assumed you were like taking them on.
I just thought the way teleport worked, I had to be with them. But if you're letting us fudge that,
yeah, I think I'll let you fudge it. Well, again, Fergus has ascended to godhood at this point, so. And so yeah, Jenkins you're all just maybe stunned, and Jenkins is just like, wait, where's Fergus? And then we just like cut back, and yeah, Fergus, like you're just kind of like in space fighting a dark god of psychic powers. What do you do?
How you feeling?
Like, what do we see from this? Like, I'm not sure there's like a role yet or anything. It's just kind of like watching you guys wield your immense power and throwing it at each other, right?
I mean, since we're in space, he's got to be in his like half humanoid, half water bear form.
I hate it so much.
Is it like you sitting in like a water bear costume?
It's perfect. With just like piercing, like glowing light coming out of all like the wrinkles and folds.
What in the world? Okay. Yeah, so you just like throwing pure white energy at him and he's throwing pure black energy at you.
The steel is bending powers.
Right.
I mean, that's literally an ability he has. So,
and this is the thing, Fergus. I feel you feel yourself starting to like come apart, right? Because you advance the clock to midnight, and you kind of know it's like this isn't. I don't think this is something you come back from, right? It's not even that you live the rest of your life as a Hephaestus engine thing. I think this is just the end for Fergus, right? Like he's gonna have a moment of godhood and then die, because he's just pushed it too far. What would you like to do with your moment of godhood?
Move the planet a little closer to the sun, and then we'll start a Mistborn campaign.
I mean, I've gotta fire the vortex cannon once in actual combat.
Yeah, you're just like firing the vortex cannon at him. I think like we probably just see like a back and forth here for a bit, right? Of like you're throwing this stuff at each other, and then Sigmund's responding like, "You don't understand. I was going to rule them like a god. The Imperium was mine. The galaxy was mine. The map, the power, the Hephaestus engine would have been the key. We could have conquered the galaxy, but no, you wanted to stand in the way of progress, in the way of godhood." What do you say?
Sorry, were you saying something?
I think that's like the one thing he fails his steel test, right? That's the one thing that he doesn't expect. He's waiting for like the villain hero monologue or like dialogue, and he's just like, what? And that's when you probably fire the vortex cannon in his face, right? So we see like him start to like tear apart a little bit, but like you guys are just too evenly matched for much to happen yet. And so I think I'm gonna check my 9 notes real quick here, because we've escalated very quickly, very fast, and I'm making sure that I'm getting in, because this might be the last episode of the campaign. Yeah, so I think he says, is all you want to doom this sector, Fergus? Doom it to mediocrity? What do you gain by thwarting me here?
Well, saving my friends for one. And frankly, I don't want to live in a universe ruled by some crazy guy.
Some crazy guy. I think you far underestimate who I am, Fergus.
Well, you got outwitted by a 13-year-old boy, so you're probably not fit to rule an entire galaxy.
The game isn't over yet. There's still one last move. And Fergus, you feel him move backwards. In your psychic godhood, you sense him post-cognate.
Oh.
Right? And he kind of like projects himself backwards. You can follow him if you want.
I don't. I'm kidding. I will. You can't railroad me.
And he goes back. He passes the scream. And in that moment, you realize way back when you like read that like creepypasta story about this guy who like he drank this like weird purple liquid and saw the scream. You got it all wrong. The creepypasta person got it all wrong. He didn't see the scream. He caused the scream.
And that was this guy.
With post-cognition, he went back in time and destroyed all the psychics so that he would be the most powerful. Basically, he inflicted this on the galaxy so that he could take over eventually. Because you're seeing his plan as you're like going backwards in time with him, like following his mind. And so just like you did to what's his face, to that one mad scientist guy that you made go crazy by influencing something in the past, he also did this. But he goes even farther back, right? He goes back to Earth. He goes back to 21st century Earth. And we see a normal suburban household.
A bald man in front of his computer.
No, we see a segment isn't me. We see a young man in his house, in his basement rather, playing a video game.
So you're saying that the enemy has always been video games?
No, I'm saying that to beat someone who plays video games, you also have to play video games.
Yeah.
There you go.
And we see kind of like he's trying to go back and like review his whole life in a span of a moment to try to find a point where he can change or shift, that things will be different. And so he can get an edge over you. What do you do as you like watch him do this, right? So you're it's kind of like I don't know if you've seen Arrival, but like the sense of like you're suddenly able to see time without reference points. Like you're experiencing it all in one moment. It no longer has any meaning to you. You just like see his entire life played out before you. And he's picking through it and trying to find something. What do you do?
He's the guy who drank the purple stuff.
He is.
He drank the Kool-Aid, and that killed all of the other psychics at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, the story was probably just made up about the purple thing. Like there was definitely some native cult that like worshipped him, but that was probably something that happened afterwards and not so the story that you see is right a kid who was alive when the first nanites that created these psychic powers were developed. He was one of the first people, maybe kind of accidentally, to get them because of something that went wrong and like the nanites were free and he got them. And he's lived immortally throughout this entire span and through post-cognition made it so that the scream happened.
And he's trying to change something in the past right now.
He's trying to see if he can. He's trying to see if there's anything else that he missed that like he can use as an advantage over you in this moment because you guys are so evenly matched.
Fergus wants to drink the purple drink.
Okay. Yeah.
And instead of killing all of the psychics, I don't know how the purple drink works, so tell me if I'm on the right wavelength here. But he just wants to destroy all of the nanites.
Destroy all the nanites?
He wants to destroy psychic powers.
Okay.
But not the people. Like the reverse of what he did.
Yeah. Yeah. So we see you step onto a jungle island, right? In this past. You see this tribe dancing around a fire, bringing out bowls of this little purple liquid, passing it around, this kind of like thing. And Fergus, you step up to them. And you can see in your psychic godhood that this is not just anything. This is like some sort of like related technology. It's either like distilled nanoparticles in the drink or something along those lines that's like related to the nanotechnology psychic stuff that's being drank here. Maybe some sort of pure metapsionic thing that allows you to manipulate psychic stuff. So yeah, you just want to sneak in and grab one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we see Fergus drink deeply of this, and yeah, you see the possibilities open before you, right? Of all the things you could do. And right, you see the psychic abilities helping man go out into the stars. You see them not as a bad thing. Like they definitely weren't inherently a bad thing. Like they were used for good. And that's the knowledge you gain. Like they could certainly be abused, but like they aren't bad in and of themselves. And you see like this kind of expanding human empire that goes throughout the whole galaxy, and there's peace and prosperity and everything's great. And then the scream happens. Because of one man's selfishness, who wants to be the best. He wants to abuse this psychic power.
I want to give everyone psychic power.
I was hoping.
Fergus sees that, he's just like, wait a minute. It's just like gun control laws. Give everyone guns.
Yes, and honestly, that is kind of like the idea here, right? Is that the mistake that he made was not...
Mm-hmm.
He was in one ditch, and you might want to make sure not to go into the other ditch, right?
Mm-hmm.
His ditch was, only I can use it, and it should be abused to its fullest extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other ditch would be, no one can use these because they're too dangerous. But
Mm-hmm.
if everyone has them, then there's an innate check and balance that starts to happen. And that was kind of what it was before, but I think maybe it wasn't. It probably wasn't like that before. And that's probably the fix that you're offering is the only way that Sigmund was able to do this in the first place was because not everyone had them. They were like only a select few people, and it was mostly actually through genetics after the scream, right? Because people would have kids, and then their nanites would kind of like naturally kind of pass on because of the close contact with another human being, sort of thing. And yeah, I think that's a good solution, right? Fergus decides everyone should have them. Like let's dilute this. Everyone gets the nanites, and thus no one's too powerful, right? But then everyone can have these useful gifts that they can certainly abuse, but not as easily as if only a select few people had them. That seems like a great solution to me. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I like Fergus drinking this and
based
just like giving psychic powers to all. And
I mean, it's not really our choice.
As soon as you said that, I was like, if everyone's super, then nobody's super. I put Fergus's ultimate form, and I put a picture of the bad guy from The Incredibles.
Amazing.
And Connor, you could always rewind it.
So, and this is the thing that I think happens then. I think this is probably the only solution that actually means Fergus lives. Right?
Oh.
In a weird way, it actually ends up saving you too. Because
still kind of just in space.
The problem with the nanites with you, right, was that you had too many of them. They were going crazy. Your power was too much. You were using it too recklessly, all of that stuff. But if it's diluted, if it goes to everyone, right, if it's kind of like spread out, I think that actually saves Fergus. And so I think we have this kind of awesome moment of Fergus knowing like this is the last action he'll ever take, right? And he drinks the liquid and he changes the past. Sigmund screams, and the classic villain no, and everything goes black. And Fergus is like, okay, that's it. Like I'm dead. I'm gone. That's the end for me.
I think in that like split second as he's drinking it, he sends everyone like a goodbye message, and he tells Evelyn he forgives her.
Yeah. Do we get a moment, because this is in the Mindscape and you have like 5 minutes of time or whatever, right, that you can talk. Do we get a moment? I think, just hear me out here, and maybe Connor and Jared, you don't like this, but I feel like it would be more impactful if Fergus says goodbye, Evelyn apologizes first, and then Fergus forgives her. Like in this moment where Evelyn realizes Fergus is actually going to die.
Yeah.
Right?
We could just do it in character. Like, I'm about to drink it. Like, everyone pops into a little mind palace.
Yeah.
Oh,
we should have that moment. Yeah.
There's a lot of popping around. What's going on here?
I'm currently back like minutes before the scream, and I'm about to drink the purple drink that caused the scream, but I'm gonna like use it to do the opposite of what the screen did.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
currently fighting Sigmund through the entire time space continuum.
Wow, that's.
But yeah, to do this, I'm gonna die. So
What?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm gonna drink the purple drink and sacrifice myself to.
Yeah, the purple
save
drink.
the world. Yeah.
No, I mean I don't know. There's not a better way to do it. You can't just sacrifice yourself.
Well, I'm gonna die anyway. This didn't fix what was wrong with me. It just prolonged it.
Well, maybe we can go back. I can I don't know. You're like a Hephaestus engine now, right? You could help me take you back, and then we can undo it or something.
I'm already back. I think time traveling within an already time travel might explode the entire universe. It most certainly kill you.
Yeah, honestly, Odin might be just completely ripped to shreds if he tries to tag along on this ride right now.
Evelyn definitely looks in the future and is going to commit effort for the day and ask the question, is there any other way to do this where he doesn't die?
Wait, can you
obviously
can you
we know
in the future and know the answer, or do you have to look in the past to know the answer? How does that work?
Yeah, how would this work? Yeah, maybe she just looks in the future and can't see anything.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
She's there's a million different outcomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I think, Evelyn, honestly, you see something like you've just never seen before. It's not even like a million possibilities. You just see nothing. There's no future. Yet, right? Like
weird.
You can't see anything, and maybe it freaks you out. But it's like you can. I think you know enough about psychic stuff that you're like, whatever's happening with Fergus and Sigmund right now, it's warping things so much that I can't see anything.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're.
I just wanted to, say goodbye to all you guys. Love you guys. Thanks for, bringing me on this adventure, even though I'm, a dorky 13-year-old kid.
Thank you, Fergus, for doing this. I don't see another way. I don't see anything, actually. Looks like your control over time right now is even better than mine.
Well, it's mostly Sigmund. But yeah, I'm tagging along. We only got a couple minutes left, so group hug? Or is that too?
Yeah, Od'll give him a hug. He's like, look, I still suck at this time travel thing, but I'll get better. And you'll be in the past, so it won't feel any longer to you. I don't think. So I'll figure something out. All right.
All right, buddy.
Just hang in there. All right.
Dylan, do you say anything?
I feel like she would, but I don't know what she would say.
Ziva's crying, I think.
Oh, yeah.
She just runs up and gives you a hug, Fergus.
Mm-hmm. He ruffles her hair and says, now that I'm gone, it's up to you to make sure these idiots don't get themselves killed.
Okay, I'll do it.
Fergus, I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry for leaving you and for just everything that happened after that too. I want you to know I didn't do it because I hate you. I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
Evelyn, I don't know what's going on inside of your brain, but I mean, we've been through a lot, and it means a lot that you apologize for leaving me for dead. I'll forgive you on one condition, that you do better for these guys, because I'm not going to be here to patch us up anymore.
Of course.
And then he just like starts slowly fading, like, oh, okay, time's up, guys.
I think Dylan just kind of like she's like
more.
She's not crying, she's composing herself enough, but she just kind of like nods and like puts out her hand for a fist bump.
Oh,
He does it.
Yeah, and so Fergus fades away. And David, I actually have an idea here.
okay.
Do you want to try going back?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel
think
like Ode would try, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I think right now he doesn't know necessarily if he has any ability to be useful in that way. So, like,
I have an idea here for something that you maybe it's not going to be the thing that you think you're doing,
right,
going back in time, but I think there's another thing you can do to go back in time and change something that, like,
sure, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think he assumes that he won't have the ability to do that now, but it doesn't mean he wouldn't like test it.
Yeah. You're gonna make a postcog roll. We'll see what happens.
Sure. All right. Here we go. Isn't intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I slip him some god juice?
No, you're already gone.
Can I spend a fate point?
No.
How does torching work? That's just a thing you can do for.
If you run out of effort, yeah.
We've taken some liberty with that though in the past.
Yeah.
Do you want to dump all your juice in here, Ode?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if I could like use it to reroll or something, I couldn't remember how it worked.
Sure. Yeah, we can use it to reroll if you want to dump everything.
I mean, I guess if anything, let me reroll, it'd be post-cognition, right? Well, no, that'd be precognition. That's what that does. Anyways. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, 14.
That's the best I could roll.
The best you could possibly roll.
Holy
Amazing.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay, that's awesome then.
Sweet.
So Ode, you go back in time. And we see you're on the bridge of like a space station somewhere. You don't recognize, everything is like in Japanese. And you don't recognize it really. And you're surrounded by let me think about this for a second. Scratch that. You are on a planet. You choose, David. Where would you like to be on Earth? Where does Ode go to on Earth? This would be right before the scream.
Okay. I mean, Odin knows nothing about Earth, right?
Mm-hmm. But I'm asking David mainly, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah. It's just,
Where would you choose to go on this place you know nothing about?
yeah. It's an appropriate place for Ode. I don't know. What year is it?
It would be whatever the year was before the scream happened. So
yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember how long ago that was.
Right.
It's the year 3200 right now, but I'm not sure how long ago the scream was.
Sure. I don't know. We'll do like whatever Chicago has become now that it's merged with 7 other cities around it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ode, you see that it's actually really nice. Right?
right? So we would recognize something here as Chicago, right? We'd recognize like the lake or something, right?
Maybe that's like an old historical preserve. That's like
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Chicago, but an
something like that.
identifiable building from Chicago.
Yeah. But the rest of the city is like a garden city, right? It's like
Ooh.
really nice, really like it's not
So
like
the
there's not a whole
Republicans got a hold.
there's not a whole lot of like smog or pollution or bad neighborhoods or anything like that we're seeing, right? We see this like beautiful garden city. And there's a dude who looks sort of like you. I think we can maybe tell that like this might be Ode's like far future ancestor in the past or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so he's like this big Norwegian dude. And he is wearing whatever like you recognize sort of the symbol. It seems like the one of the White Sun Brotherhood, but it's like slightly different. And you're not sure what that means exactly, but it must be the organization must have some connection to the White Sun Brotherhood. You're not sure. But it's this guy, he's just like sitting on a bench, like watching like a beautiful little koi pond or something, right? In this like in an actual garden kind of historical district sort of preserve place in Chicago. And he looks over at you and he says, "Put on a shirt, young man."
Oh yeah, he tries it. Oh yes, I don't have shirts. I never done that. Was weird. I went sideways too and back. Where am I?
Chicago, the whatever garden, park, whatever he says, some sort of park.
Is he by the bean?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bean right over there.
Right. Yeah. So what system is Chicago in? I don't know this planet.
Oh, okay. First time visitor from the outer planets.
Yep.
And he gives you like a quick rundown. It was like, oh, we're on Earth and Chicago's in the United States of America.
Have I heard of Earth? No, right?
Yeah,
totally.
It's a mythical place, but you've heard of it, right? It's like
okay.
Like a legend, like Atlantis.
Like Atlantis, yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. So wait, what year is it then?
And he gives you the year, whatever year. I don't know if it was like 1,000 years before, but it was at least a couple hundred years before.
Okay.
The Scream, like before 3,200 that the Scream happened.
So this is before.
Yeah, I mean, if Ode has paid even partial attention in history class, he would understand the date.
Which, I mean, he probably didn't, but there's been enough psychic stuff going on afterwards.
Yeah.
He knows now. Yeah. So he's like, okay, I wonder why it took me here. Do you know sorry. And I like pull out my phone. I'm like, do you know anybody with this name? I like show him Fergus's last name. I still can't pronounce it.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, Mickey Gurgurna."
You okay? Are you
Mickey Gurgurna? Yes, of course. And he said, I obviously failed to say it.
No, I'm kidding.
He says it without a pause.
Right.
He's like, yeah, I know the family. They're over on whatever planet that is. Let's see. They're in the Pomelo system, I think.
That's a
really nice family.
Cool. Jeez, where's that? Can I get there?
Oof. I mean, that's on the outer part of the Milky Way, my friend. That's going to take a little while. Didn't you just get here? Aren't you going to see the sites?
Well, no, I'm looking for this site. His name's Fergus.
I don't understand. You're going to have to fill me in on what's going on here, son. Where are your parents?
Yeah. So I came back in time and I'm looking for this guy because I want to keep him from dying. I feel like that's the long short of it.
And so I think we maybe like cut the scene there for a moment and we kind of skip ahead a little bit. Like you're now sitting on the park bench with him and have just like gone over the whole big explanation of like the whole campaign and stuff because he's asked you with questions and stuff. And he's sitting there like, the future is darker than I thought it would be. But
I mean, it's kind of always dark space. I'm just
Sure.
kidding. Anyways, what were we gonna say?
well, he must have some plan for it then. Okay. Well, now that I know
Who's
that.
he?
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah, the big guy.
Yep. He's the one that gives people psychic. Wait, no, I just that isn't anymore. Yeah.
He gives men lots of gifts.
Yeah.
No, he says, well, now that you've told me this, we can take measures to be ready. Be prepared. I have to say thank you, Ode. I'm sorry I can't help you find your friend, but at the very least, you've changed everything, I think.
You're welcome, I guess. I don't know. I hope that's so. Now, if I go back, is everything going to be pink? I don't know. I hear some stuff about time travel that makes me a little nervous.
No. As far as I understand it, time travel, you can only do what's already happened. If you came back here to tell me this, then that's what was meant to happen.
But doesn't that mean that Fergus dies either way? If it already happened, I'm a little confused.
I can't tell you whether or not your friend survives whatever is going on in the year 3200, but what I can say is there is a plan. And it's a good one. And I think your friend probably understands that too, from what you told me.
Yeah, he's a pretty smart kid.
Sorry, I don't think I ever introduced myself. The name's let me find a good, like he introduced himself as Anger, obviously, right? But
right.
I'm trying to think of a good like first name. The name is General Marius Anger.
Whoa,
Pleased to meet
you're
you.
a general. That's cool. I'm Ode Anger.
I work for the White Sun Protectorate. We're kind of the peacekeeping organization of the galaxy.
Huh. That's interesting. Well, I'm Ode Anger. I'm sure there's no relation because time and stuff.
Well, there
long
might
time
be.
ago. Suppose. Oh,
Now, if I am your great grandfather, then I'm going to ask you one more time. Put on a shirt.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the key opens and like he doesn't know what to say to that. Like he was gonna say something smart. He's like, I don't really have a response to that. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Is it? Can I have that one? He points to this like whatever. I don't know if he's a general. I don't know if he's wearing a nice shirt or
He's
not.
wearing like a uniform.
Yeah. Okay, then definitely. Yeah. He's like, can I wear that one?
He chuckles. He's like, unfortunately, no.
Oh, bummer. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll find something. Thanks. I'm gonna go see if Fergus is good. If he's not, I guess I'll try again. I don't know. I hope he's okay. But thanks.
I hope he is too, Ode, for your sake. Good luck. He like shakes your hand.
Yeah. Shakes his hand. He's like, yeah, I'll see you in like 400 years.
I'll probably be dead by then, but we might see each other someday.
Yeah, he just chuckles. Yeah, shakes his hand. And then
Yeah.
I guess he'll try.
Oh, just kind of like, steps
back.
off the path and into the present again, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we get this moment of like just kind of, we probably cut from there to like kind of like a silence kind of epilogue sort of vibe, right? Where you guys are getting ready on the shuttle that like Jenkins and Akoto got. And Akoto looks back and she's like, I'm not entirely sure what's going on up in orbit, so be prepared. And then, we see it lift off and take off into the atmosphere, and Robin is like explaining to you guys what happened when he was kidnapped and stuff, and it was like they were gonna use the Hephaestus engine to control the galaxy. They're gonna like use it to power their fleets to like go out into the beyond the sector and stuff, and explaining all that. It's like, I'm glad that Fergus got there in time. And you guys get out back into space, and it's still, there's probably like the Imperium fleet is probably still there, but like backed off a little bit, right? So they're kind of like, oh, they all moved away probably from the giant black hole that like appeared where Fergus and Sigmund were fighting. And so there's a little bit of dead air that you guys, or dead void that you guys are flying through. And Akoto looked down at like her radar or whatever, because you guys are flying towards like the frigate, which is still also kind of like, oh no, the frigate's destroyed. Forgot about that. She's flying out. She's like, the frigate's gone. I'm not really sure where we go with this. The shuttle doesn't really have FTL or spike drive capabilities. And then she's like, wait a second, there's something on the radar. Oh my gosh. I think that's Fergus. And we just see Fergus's body just like floating in the void, next to the body of Sigmund, right? They're just kind of floating next to each other. And Akoto kind of like pulls closer, and she's like, I don't really know what to do. I think he's dead. Guys, what do I do?
I mean, I'll go get him. I'll like jump on and like get a suit.
Yeah.
Like a space suit.
Sounds good.
I mean, this is a shuttle, but I assume it still has an airlock, right? Like I want space or okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and then I'll like, clip myself to the side of the inside of the airlock or something and jump out and try and like.
Yeah, and you gather up Fergus's body and you bring him back in, and it's like this moment of tension of like.
I'll probably grab Sigmund too, because I feel like we should probably do something about him.
Yeah. And you kind of set them both down, and everybody's kind of like standing around them, and who checks his pulse?
What kind of role is that?
I would assume Evelyn would, but
yeah, let's do that then. So
yeah,
Evelyn leans down, puts her fingers.
Do you want me to roll for it?
No,
just a notice.
Because he's alive.
Oh no, because he's alive.
As in, you don't need to roll. He's alive.
Oh.
Right. We just see this moment where Evelyn just leans down, and everybody's waiting, like, oh my gosh, is he dead? And he's not.
Yeah.
Feel his pulse. Evelyn sighs.
Good to have you back, Fergus.
Everybody looks at Sigmund's body.
Good riddance.
Should we just put it back out into space? No, I'm kidding. I mean, Fergus is alive. I don't care about Sigmund. So yeah, he just like runs over and gives Fergus a hug, even if he's unconscious.
Yeah.
I think we just leave Sigmund's body. I don't think we're going to do anything with it.
Yeah, just dump back out in space.
Yeah. I just figured if he's like a level 4 Biosan, maybe we should kill him.
Well, I mean, if you check his pulse as well, he's dead.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So whatever he was doing,
not necessarily.
Yeah, that's true. But whatever he was doing to keep himself alive required an amazing amount of nanites. So I don't think it's possible that he is still alive after that.
I see. Okay.
So Fergus, I think, still has like some level of bioseon stuff, right? So he was able to keep himself alive.
Because that was his actual power, yeah. His main thing.
Yeah, and I think there's probably a moment where yeah, I guess all the AIs got destroyed too. Yeah. The whole frigate just like imploded.
Weren't they in the Hephaestus engine? Didn't they go into Fergus?
No, the Hephaestus engine was powering them. I don't think the AIs went into the Hephaestus engine.
Bummer.
And either way, Fergus, I don't think Fergus has the Hephaestus engine anymore. Like whatever happened, it's gone. Like he's just a normal dude now. I think what he did like made him normal again. Was able to kind of reverse that. Or at the very least, like make it so that the Hephaestus engine is like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because like the lesson here isn't that you shouldn't use technology because it's bad, right? So it would be fine if the Hephaestus engine is still around. I just don't know if it makes sense to have Fergus still be like the weird cyborg. Because again, he's a bioscion, so he could have just made himself a new body. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it makes sense that like this was the engine's point, right? So it makes sense that having done its job, it doesn't like maybe even it's still there, but it's just a box now.
Sure.
Like there's nothing there, right? Because piece of technology did its job.
Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense to me.
Uh,
Yeah, so I think there's this is what so we get this moment of like, oh yes, Fergus is still alive, and touchy moment, and we cut away to the Imperium, right? So the Minister of War died, right? He got imploded. But there's some lieutenant or something, right? I think it was the guy who he used to work on Bratislav, and you guys got him fired and moved to this planet as like he was like put in exile basically, but he ended up being important again because this planet ended up being important again. And so we recognize the face. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was I think it was like Cardinal Commander or something or whatever, right?
okay. Yeah.
And so we recognize the face at least, and he's like probably like the ranking officer in the system right now, right? And so he's like frantically like, okay, what do we do? The Imperium, like, Minister of War's gone, like, what do we do? And someone's like, well, we still have the map, don't we? He's like, yes, we have the map, but do we go forward with their plan even without the Hephaestus engine, even without Sigmund, whatever they were planning to do there? And he's like, we realize he's on a holo call with like another like minister or something that was like ended up coming into system. Maybe it's like on the outskirts of the system is like holo calling in the Minister of Commerce or something. And she says, we go forward. They may have those the enemies of the Imperium may have won a small victory, but we still have the map and we can still move forward, albeit more slowly with our plans. And the guy is just nodding like, okay, all right. Well, we have the fleet here. Do we want to send out the scout ships and try a first spike drill into an outlying system? And she says, yes, there's no time to waste. We don't want to give the White Sun Brotherhood any time to regroup. Let's start now. And we see the Imperium fleet start to break off, right? And you guys see this from the shuttle, right? Start to break off and spike drive away. And maybe you're like, okay, I don't really know what's happening there. But we know as the audience, we're like, oh no, they're still going to try to conquer the galaxy. But what ends up happening, right? What we see is they come into a new system, right? Some other system that's like outside of the sector. And at first they're like there's signs of technology, there's signs of life here. Like there's a people we can conquer. This is great. Like everybody's cheering. They're doing like their Imperium motto. And then a buttload of ships end up in the system with them, and they all have the like White Sun Protectorate sign on it. And we see some other White Sun Protectorate officer, and it's not necessarily another a descendant of Odes or whatever, right? Or ancestor of Odes, or relation of Odes, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just another White Sun Protectorate person. But we see the same sort of uniform and whatnot. And we see them say, we have hostiles on the outskirts of the system. Should we engage? Hail them, on the call that he's talking to someone on. It's like, yeah, hail them first, see if they respond with violence. We just get like a wide shot with no sound as the two fleets meet and the Imperium just attacks, and then they just get wiped out with like pre-tech technology, right?
Nice.
And we start to get epilogue here, right? And actually, the last thing that happens before we get epilogue, like a tried and true epilogue where we skip ahead in time and stuff, is you guys are still like in the shuttle. You're like, how do we get out of the system? And that's when the Evelyn's soldiers show back up, right? And you just hear someone on the comms just say, "You need a ride?" And it's Lois, right?
Hey.
And we cut forward in time. You're muted, Connor. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I said, well, that's good. I thought we were going to be here forever.
Yeah, sorry, you just died in space. Yeah, and then we get a hard cut to black, right? And now it's epilogue. The short details, like we've skipped forward maybe like a couple months or a year or something like that, depending on how you guys want it to go. But either way, we start off with probably like a news footage, hollow news of like visitors from outside the sector finally make contact, and it's like the White Sun Protectorate person like shaking hands with a White Sun Brotherhood person, and they're like, oh hey, we were part of the same organization, but just like the leftovers that were left in this sector sort of thing. And they're starting to like and the sector has been graced with the news that there's actually a whole big human empire that's still left outside even after the scream. Because of Ode's warning that he gave them, they were able to like prepare for the scream, be okay with the scream, and even though the like individual sectors were definitely falling, it was way less bad than it could have been. And they've been rebuilding since that happened, right? And they're almost finished like with the reconstituting of the old empire. So like we're almost back to like a utopia almost. And like it's going to take a lot of work to like integrate the whole sector back into this old empire, because there's all sorts of people who won't like it, right? The Imperium is still obviously here, but it's only a matter of time before the sector joins the new empire, and the good people empire. And who's watching the news footage as we like zoom out, right? We get the close up on the news footage and we're zooming out and seeing who's watching. Is it everyone? Is it just one of you? What do you say?
I feel like it's probably all of us, unless somebody, unless somebody would leave.
Yeah, where are you? What planet are you on, or spaceship are on, or something?
Are we on is the Opera House still in one piece? Did it blow up? I don't remember anymore.
It was on the frigate, which got imploded into a black hole.
You losing shit.
Sorry.
All right, we're on a third ship. Okay, what's his name?
Maybe we just did the D&D character thing. Our character died, so we just bought the same exact ship and renamed it the same exact thing.
Well, I mean, that's basically what you did with the Opera House.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
So what's the name of the third ship?
Yeah, I don't know. What's the phrase? Third time's the charm.
Yes, that's amazing. That's the name of the ship. Yep. Third time's the charm. That's awesome. Yeah, so we see everybody in the kitchen, obviously, right? And like Fergus is probably making truffles, right? Like the oven pops open and he's bringing out these truffles for everybody to try. Dylan has some iced coffee and everybody's like watching the news footage. Makoto and Ziva are there. Robin and Vigo are probably around somewhere on the ship, but maybe aren't like right here.
I feel like, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
What telekinetic power does Ziva have?
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Probably teleportation. Seems fitting. Yeah, and probably the evening out of the nanites probably means that everyone just has one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always how it is. So Evelyn can still have precog. Fergus probably has bioscion as his main one, right? Or would it be like telepathy or something?
Well, it has to be bioscion, right? Or you would have died in space.
Probably. And I think Dylan and you, Ode, probably still have some versions of what, right? Not crazy versions of it, but you still have post-cog, you still have your weird object telepathy. And you're still probably learning how to use them, right? And all that stuff.
I was going to ask, because I couldn't tell by everything that's happened whether we still had psychic powers yet or not. And if none of us had powers, then Dylan wouldn't be able to say goodbye to Till at all.
That's true. Yeah. No, everybody still has at least one power. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, basically Fergus like evened out the nanites and gave them to everyone. So.
Okay.
What psychic power did Till have?
Well,
what?
None, because
he's dead.
I mean, yeah, that's why I said did. Did he have?
So Fergus made it happen in real time. Even though he drank the purple liquid in the past, he made it happen in real time.
All right, I forgot. Okay. Yeah.
Because we've already lived through all of the years where, like, we know how time travel works. You can't reverse things. It's just that there are certain things that always had happened. We just didn't realize it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably see, like, you're all, sitting there, and Ziva teleports in, and that's how we can see, oh, yeah, she has a power, right? Like,
that's great.
But yeah, what's the conversation that's happening while you're watching the news coverage?
I think Ode is searching for other like ancestors of his that were in that protectorate. So that's if he found any, like, hey, I know this guy.
As the Empire is starting to reintegrate things, they have brought in faster than light internet, and that's bringing in like a whole host of like things. And so maybe Ode is like looking through like an ancestry.com website, like trying to piece his family tree together and be like, wait a second.
Like sitting there with Ferguson, like, and then this is his grandpa.
Right. Awesome.
And he invented this version of the toaster. And then, so.
Right. Not as cool as being a general, but
yeah.
That one toaster that you can buy that literally toasts a hot dog bun as well as cooks a hot dog.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there you go. That's some pretext.
That's a thing that exists.
Yeah, and I think probably the voice that comes on the comm, out of some fluke of the Hephaestus engine or something, right? We hear Sample's voice. As the only, like, just Sample, not the whole Panopticon Matrix, but like just Sample. Say
the black box.
Yeah, something like that, right? Well, he had quantum hacking, so he just like downloaded himself really quickly to another ship.
There you go.
And we hear him say, "Approaching Zanlis now."
Hey.
Because I'm assuming that's where you guys would be going.
Sounds good, yeah.
Any other conversations that should be had in this scene before we get to Zanlis?
So are we here? We're here for Till, right?
I think mostly, primarily here for Till, probably, right?
Yeah. So I guess Ode looks at Dylan and is like, "Are you ready?"
She just nods. Says, "Yeah."
Okay. Let's
Well, she probably says to say goodbye to Till. Yeah. To see my dad again? No.
Right, yeah.
And you hear Ziva say, "Zanlis, man, it has been so long since I've been there. I wonder if this person's still around. If old man Jenkins, like some elder from the village."
Oh, I think I misunderstood what was going on here. Okay, never mind. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so she's just like saying, "I wonder if this person's still there." We're starting to descend onto Zanlis. And yeah, you guys tell me, right? Like, I think at this point, like, we obviously need to see the Dylan Till moment that you wanted to have, Carly. But we obviously still have a reunion with Gregor that has to happen. So let's maybe start there first, right? So Gregor,
I forget what kind of a note we left on. I know it wasn't good, but
it was not a good note. He got arrested. He got
been.
like deposed and arrested. And has since been spending time like working for the community, like doing community service, basically, just like kind of trying to pay back. So you probably find him would you be having this reunion with him in private or with someone else there with you?
One of your friends are enormously trigger happy. I'm guessing by yourself is probably a good idea.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so we see some, rundown building in the dome. And he's probably sitting there maybe like tinkering with something. Tinkering with some piece of tech. He looks tired more than anything. And Dylan, the door slides open and Dylan's there. And Gregor looks up. He like sets down the piece of tech he was fiddling with. And he just like kind of slumps. Like he can't look you in the eye, sort of a thing, and just like slumps and looks down at the table.
I'm assuming that like even if we would have tried to like get some kind of communication to Zanless that Till had passed away, like it would probably take a long time to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you probably told them beforehand at this point. Like they probably know, but it definitely wasn't a thing you could have done in the middle of everything.
Yeah,
and even if you did, it would have taken a while to get there. So I think the message has arrived before you, but not by that much.
Okay.
So I think he knew you were going to come too, right? Like.
Okay. I don't know what she would say.
I suppose you've come here to for me to congratulate you on saving the galaxy.
No, but that wouldn't hurt.
I made a lot of mistakes, Dylan. I won't lie and say that I didn't. But he looks at you with like a proud look that like says, it has like a big butt there. He doesn't like vocalize it, but he's still just like not really like remorseful exactly. He's like, yeah, sure, I messed up. Whatever. Forget about it, like get over it.
And this isn't private, right? We're not here for this.
Yeah.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
That's probably best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, I think she just like she kind of crosses her arms as she's standing there and just looks at the floor and just says like there'll be a public memorial for Till at such and such a time, and like walks out.
Yeah. Fergus, I assume you go and meet with Evangelia?
Yeah.
Let's see what's up with her. So I think she is definitely much better off. And honestly, this is as Dylan walks out of the building, right? We actually see the dome for the first time. And the building that your father was in was probably a little run down, but the rest of the dome actually looks much better. Like Evangelia has been using her drones to fix up the place. And while Zanless is still a horrible sinkhole that no one would ever want to live in, if they had the choice, the dome itself is actually way better off than it was.
Did she manage to make something at least akin to a Hephaestus engine?
Yeah, I would say not the Hephaestus engine, but like her being the new protector personality has really helped her to just have like a singular focus and start rebuilding the dome and finding solutions to fix problems that it had. And she hasn't made the Hephaestus engine because I think, as we've learned, it requires more than just knowledge of how to do it. She maybe made a prototype, but it didn't work for her for the reasons it didn't work for the Imperium, right? Yeah.
Can I like take the remnants of the Hephaestus engine out of me and put it into the one she has? Sure can. Yay. I do that.
So we see Evangelia like probably on like a computer screen, just like with text next to you, right? Just saying like, I promise you it's not going to work. I've already tried every conceivable combination.
Oh, how about an inconceivable combination?
And you just like put the last piece together and then just touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just see it glow, and we know that like Zanless is in for a good time because now we have the Hephaestus engine to help things be put back together. I love it.
Starts to rain.
Cool. Yeah. Ode or Evelyn, did you have anything you wanted to do on Xanless, or do we skip to the Till Memorial?
We can. I mean, I don't have anything I want to do on Xanless necessarily, but I obviously want to talk with.
Yeah, there'll be epilogue scenes that we'll do with everybody for sure.
Yeah.
So let's go to the Till Memorial then, unless you got something.
Yeah. Other than if Dylan wanted to post-cognate and visit Till, other than that, I don't know if she wants to do that before, after, or not at all.
Yeah, what is the plan here again with all that?
Probably after, because my thought is like there'll be some kind of public memorial service, and then after everyone leaves, she'd want to do that.
Okay,
sure,
sounds good.
Yeah, so we just see the Till funeral, the memorial. I think Evelyn still had some of his ashes, right?
Oh yeah,
she does. I don't know if any of us actually ever knew that though.
But this is probably a moment where they come out and they get buried somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And I imagine that I'm imagining that Xanless would have a different custom than just like a cemetery.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm thinking like whatever the situation is,
they probably just throw bodies in an acid bath or something, right? Like,
well, okay, maybe it's just like a spreading the ashes thing then, because I mean obviously we don't have his body, but
that makes sense.
My thought is like if there was somewhere like specific place that they spread her mom's ashes, she would probably do it in the same place.
Yeah, okay, sure, that makes sense. Yeah, there's some spot outside the dome that they spread it. And so everybody's there with their gas masks because it's terrible to breathe this Xanless air, and have a moment of silence there. Cool. Anything in particular that you wanted to happen at the memorial, or do we just see the like kind of silent, everyone standing there scene?
Does Gregor show up?
I think he does in the very back of the crowd.
Okay.
Probably pushed onward by his wife, your stepmom.
Yeah.
Almost pulling him by his ear, like, you will go to the funeral, sort of thing. Cool. So then Dylan and Noda want to have that conversation about possibly post-cognating back into the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so after it's over, I think once it seems like a good time, I'll go and be like, so did you still want to say goodbye, or did you change your mind?
No, I think I need to.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Now.
Okay. Yeah. So he like sits down and tries to find like a comfortable spot or whatever. And all right, here we go. And then
in the middle of the wasteland.
Yeah. Are we like outside the dome? That's like dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is we would just do it in the same place.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
Everybody else has left. You guys are still there.
Right. I just figured we wouldn't want to get killed by some evil beast monster thing while we're in vision. But, all right. Do you want me to roll?
Sure.
Okie dokie. Awful.
Yikes.
Oh gosh.
Dang.
So how does
is there a way for me to help him with that roll at all? Obviously I can't post cognate, but
I think it might be that just like Ode doesn't have as much power as he did before, because everybody's psychic powers have kind of been muted a little bit.
How does torching work?
You take like no, you have to roll a d6 and might lose some attribute stuff. But that's usually it's like you go push back past your effort level. Is what it is.
Okay, gotcha. Bummer.
So you tell me, is it okay if Dylan can't do this?
I mean, I think if Ode can't do it, she's just gonna try to like lean down on the ground and like touch his ashes and just use her own psychic thing.
I think that's more interesting, right? Is that Ode fails this and he's like, sorry, like I just don't have It's not as wild as it used to be. Like it's more controlled now, but it's like limited in power and scope than it was before.
Can I, if she's gonna do that, can I help her? Can I like?
I don't think so.
I can't contribute something to that.
I mean, unless it could be something else besides postcog, but I'm not sure what it would be. Right.
Right. Well, I was thinking of like. So she would obviously be doing all the work, but I was wondering if I could use postcog to like visualize things, right? So she could see what she would normally just be hearing.
If you had gotten like a 7, I would say you could just give her a +1, but like I think you've just failed and you can't really do it.
Okay. That's fine.
So
my thought is like if she succeeds at this, then the same kind of scene would be happening with when Evelyn said goodbye to him, except instead of like actually seeing him and him actually seeing her, they would just be hearing each other.
Just hearing each other. Yep.
That would also explain why we didn't see anything when he smiled, because he was just hearing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. Go ahead and roll telepathy then. Telepathy.
What attribute?
Intelligence, I think.
Oh no. No.
Oh man.
Oh.
I'm not sure what this means exactly.
Yeah.
Because it seems like just like a bad story option to have this fail right now.
And it's also the kind of thing I feel like you would just try again, right? Like, I don't know.
I'll just give it to you. In hindsight, it probably doesn't make sense to roll for this because we're in epilogue already.
Okay.
That's true, I suppose.
So that's my bad. That's probably a weird way to do it, because it's like it's not interesting if you fail in this moment. It was interesting that Ode failed because then Dylan has to do it herself, right? But it doesn't make any sense for Dylan to fail. So yeah, I like that though. It's like the idea that he was just hearing you, right? And so we didn't see you in that flashback. What do you say?
I mean, she just asks, like, Till, are you there?
I'm here, Dylan.
Yeah, she starts crying. She just kind of pauses for a long time because she's like trying to actually collect her emotions and everything, like I'm doing.
And he says, "Take all the time you need."
I miss you.
I miss you too. Did you do it? Did it all end up okay? Are you on the other side?
I think so.
Well, then, Dylan, I have something to say to you. Don't be like me. Live, okay? You promise me that, Dylan? You don't need to be some superhero. And even though you saved the galaxy, you don't need a sword. You just need to live. You just need to stop focusing on the past. Stop focusing on all the regrets. Maybe your father's going to come around. I don't know. But live for me, okay?
Okay.
That old kid's all right. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be the worst thing if you dated him, okay?
She just like blushes. Well, she kind of like chuckles and like through the tears, and it's like, okay.
He's aggravating as heck, but he's a good kid. And if you could, I've never understood how you weren't constantly annoyed by him. So honestly, you might be the only one who could marry him. Not much phases you, does it, Dylan?
Trying to think of a good response to that. She just says, I guess not.
That's my girl. If me and my wife had ever had a daughter, I would have wanted her to be like you. And maybe in a weird roundabout way, I did have one. So thank you for that. Love you, kid. Sorry I don't say that enough. Or didn't.
Till?
Yeah.
Thanks for being my dad where he didn't.
Of course. I think it's time to say goodbye. You ready?
Yeah.
We're about to go down to Demedes. I think that's...
I can never hear that. No.
I know.
Arby's, yeah,
Demedes. Yep.
Oh.
As far as Evelyn said, that's where it ends for me. But I'm going to go down with a smile. And I'm going to do it so that we can have this conversation right now. Never did understand how Ode figured out time travel, but...
Me either.
Honestly, with half the things you kids have been able to do, I stopped being surprised months ago. Goodbye, Dylan.
Bye, Till.
I think that's where it ends.
That was depressing.
Well, wait, one more thing
yeah.
that Dylan wants to do.
Yep.
She comes out of it. She takes, removes her hand from the ground. She stands up. She, wipes, some of the tears from her face, but not all of them. And then she just grabs Ode's face and kisses him.
Yeah, he turns beet red. He's like...
Yeah. And we just cut there.
Yeah.
Well, it's about time.
Just the approval from Till was what she needed.
Yeah. So I have a question for Ode and Dylan. Do you guys stick around on Xanless or do you go somewhere else?
That's a good question.
Your parents are still alive, and they're gonna live happily ever after somewhere. But they're probably gonna go wherever you guys are, right? Because your dad can do research wherever. So you probably all kind of maybe talk it through as a group as to where you want to go.
I mean, we can visit Earth now.
That's true. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Like, hey, do you want to see the bean in Chicago?
Yeah.
Is that
I don't know
where we
what
just...
that is, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, after Dylan's kiss, I was just standing there like, oh, hey, do you want to see the bean in Chicago? Right? Just like first thing that comes to his mind. Yeah, that definitely sounds like something like your dad and mom would want to go see too, right? It's like, whoa, pre-tech technology. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, that sounds fun to me, right? Like Dylan and Ode and the Angers go off to
obviously
visit
he'll
Earth.
drag Fergus along if he'll come. And I mean Evelyn too, but I assume she has other stuff to do.
Yeah, so that's the question, right? Is what's the epilogue for Fergus and Evelyn? Let's start with Fergus.
Yeah.
Well, how long do they stay on? Oh crap! What's your
Xanless?
Xanless for?
I'd say maybe a couple days at least. I guess it depends on how quick Dylan wants to get away from her dad. But I mean, there's still plenty of people here that you like, Dylan, right? Like there's people in the dome that are like friends of yours. So
she'd probably want to stay for at least a couple days, just kind of recuperate from everything they've been through in a familiar place.
Where does Ziva go? Does Ziva go with you guys?
I mean, I imagine so. I don't know. Like, I don't think she'd want to stay on.
Okay,
Xanless.
I think the Angers adopt her. Right?
Yes.
Because they're probably like, young lady, you need a proper set of parents. Like, you can't be going gallivanting around with. And maybe it's just like in the interim, they've become friends. Like, especially maybe like Layla has just been like momming her hard, right? And like,
that makes
it just kind of becomes natural. Yeah. So Fergus, are you going to stay on Xanless longer than that, or? But yeah, it sounds like Oden's going to try to drag you along.
Yeah. He'd probably want to like stay until like Evangelia's up and running and he knows the planet will be able to like fix itself.
Yeah, I think a couple days are probably good enough for you to know that.
Yeah, then he'll probably go along.
Cool. Evelyn, what about you?
Okay, so I think
Jenkins comes with too then, since why not?
Well, yeah.
I mean, do you want me to do a scene or
whatever you want to do?
Yeah, I think we should probably get a scene then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
With
it feels important enough.
What would be the question is like, what would be the place she would even? It would so. Okay, can we also? I mean, okay. So here's my question, right? So we're all doing this, right? We're all hanging out, but we're all going to separate places.
I think after Xanless, the idea was everybody kind of parts ways. But it sounds like everyone except for you is going somewhere.
Right. But my question is, shall we have a scene where that happens too? Where we
probably. If
that.
If the scene that you're thinking of happens after that, then we should start with the parting of ways. Are you saying that like
it's kind of hand in hand for her?
Yeah. That's fine. Then
like
we can just do it all
so much of what she's experienced and done has been because of like it's always been the push and pull between Vigo and the rest of the crew, right? That's always been her thing.
Yep.
So for her, it feels like it's hand in hand, but I don't know exactly how we want that to look.
I mean, I assume Ode, Fergus, and the rest are taking third time's a charm, right?
Presumably, yeah.
And then Evelyn is going off with Vigo somewhere. So maybe it's just like the conversation begins with like, wait, who's taking this ship? Who owns this ship, right? Like
the only people with money.
That's true. Evelyn gave all the rest of her money to the.
I still have like I think 1.8 million. So
no, I actually didn't. I promised them the money if they would stay and
if
fight.
They stayed, and
no,
then
I
they
have
didn't.
all my
yeah,
money.
That's true. Yeah.
which is like 50,000, right?
Yeah, I don't remember
thinking
how
it
much
wasn't
it
very
is.
much.
Something like that.
80,000. So still not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
compared
lot
to
of
what
effort.
I assume Fergus has.
1.7 million.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just depends on whether or not everybody chipped in again or if Evelyn didn't, for whatever reason.
I mean,
So really, the question is, did Evelyn expect this to happen? Was she planning for this? Or is this something that kind of springs on her, where she's like, I don't really want to go to Earth. I want to go somewhere else. Or is that even, or do you go with them? Like, I'm still unsure as to what you're even going for here.
what, and Fergus is going to Earth as well?
Yep. Sounds like literally everyone except for you and Vigo have signed up for this so far.
Jeez Louise. I don't know.
Fergus isn't a god anymore. He needs people to protect him.
Akoto is probably staying in the sector to help with the White Sun Brotherhood, kind of integration with the White Sun Protectorate. One person I think does actually come with you if you let her, though, is Myo Youngjaw, the White Sun Brotherhood computer expert person who kind of hit it off with Fergus a while back. She's been sticking around, and I'd like to hint at the fact that maybe her and Fergus get together at some point in the future. And so we see like
Fergus is actually gay. you didn't pick out
Sharon.
We got to get in our points.
You're right.
Fergus can turn into a female, so I guess it works.
Yeah.
we can still get all of our work
Fergus-
cred.
This is our token everybody.
Yep.
Fergus is now an empowered colored woman. Don't need no man.
He's entered his rebellious phase.
We probably just see like a quick brief moment between the two of them where it's like, ooh, this could be something more, right? Like between Myo and Fergus.
How old is she?
She's like 15, 16.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's around Ode's age.
Okay.
Yeah.
White Sun Brotherhood apparently has a lot of teenagers.
Yeah.
This whole campaign is a lot of
If there's
teenagers.
anything I've learned about anime, it's that if you're an adult, you can't solve problems on that scale.
That is so true.
Yeah, the only adults we had in our party we kept forgetting about. They never did anything.
Or died.
Or
Yeah,
died.
that too.
Yep.
So can we have just a big scene where we can have Evelyn decide what she does and where she goes?
Yeah, who would be the person to
can
like
we have
ask?
a little bit of like can we have Evelyn and Vigo talk a little bit first actually and then do that?
Yep.
Maybe we should have, and just especially just to be in order as well. Let's have them talk first and do their thing, and then we can have a big group. What do we do?
Yeah. Sounds good. Where are you when you have this conversation?
We're probably still on Xanless.
Sure.
Right? Like about to get back on the ship, and everybody else is kind of like decided what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Evelyn's probably like heard, like listened, like overheard, like
their plans
like
that they're making.
snippets of what's going on or what's going to happen. And she's kind of like, well, where do I go?
Yeah. So far, O didn't try to drag me along. Like, I wonder.
Well, that doesn't bother her at all.
Right. I know, but like, you're just thinking, like, I wonder what they think my role is now.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, where are you when you have this conversation? Then just in a building somewhere in the dome, like maybe Evelyn's packing up.
I assume that we're all like packing up on the ship, right?
Sure. Okay.
And
so you haven't taken off yet, but like you're still kind of like on the third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this you going to Vigo or Vigo coming to you?
Probably Evelyn. Like everybody's packing up,
but Evelyn's already had all of her stuff packed. For a while now.
And maybe she's on the ship, right? Maybe she's in like on the bridge, kind of like overlooking everything that's going on, and then and she's just kind of like she kind of just like sits down and like feels out of place, and Vigo comes up to him. Yeah, comes up to her.
Okay,
he like notices obviously because yeah,
he just comes up and says, Evelyn, Like question mark.
What'd you say?
He just said like your name question mark like Evelyn. Like kind of like
Oh.
what are you doing? Like you're standing here.
Vigo, she kind of like stands up. She kind of like wants to like feels like she needs to be on like what's the word? Like present herself well now for some reason, because she also knows that like Vigo left it up in the open, right?
Sure.
As to what will happen between them. So she kind of is like, she probably for the first time in her life feels like awkward. Like what, like having a self-confidence, like, crisis.
Yeah, so we see her like mess with her hair or something, right? Like
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. I don't think we've ever heard Evelyn say hi in the entire campaign.
What are you doing here?
Just making sure I didn't forget something.
Right. Well, let's look around.
He's like, no, I think I found everything. Listen, Evelyn, I think he just doesn't say anything. He was about to ask a question, any question, and he just can't figure out how to frame it or what to even begin it as. So he just says, he just pauses and doesn't say anything.
What did you say you forgot?
I've forgotten.
You forgot what you forgot.
Evelyn, we've been meaning to have a conversation for a while now here.
She gets real red.
Mm-hmm. I love you.
Yes, I love you too. And she blinks as if she like
he's like chuckling at you.
Realized for the first time she could say that.
Yeah.
And it like was true. And it's just like so strange to her to be in this moment.
He's smiling and he says, I spent a lot of time treating you as a kid and pretty much only seeing you that way, but you've grown up into a fine young woman.
I think she breaks in a way that she didn't break even when Till died. But in a much better way, because all of the like pent up lack of self-confidence that's been in her from not having love from Vigo is what drops and like melts away. And she just like the experience between her and the crew and even Till was a love that she never really experienced growing up. But like she always felt like she wasn't going to keep this and that she could let it go one day if she needed to. But this was everything to her. And so like she has so much what's the word? Just like contentment with the universe.
Yep.
And
I've
she
been there.
just starts crying really hard.
I've felt that.
And just like tears streaming, and she's like sniffling and
oh my gosh. Are you okay, Evelyn?
Yes, I didn't know what this would mean to me, I don't think. And I never could bring myself to see this moment before.
You're precog and you couldn't see it?
I was too afraid of what maybe if you didn't love me back, and I
He takes your face, like your face in his hands, and one hand kind of like cups it. And
wait, I got one more thing to say. One more thing to say. And I didn't want to ruin the moment either.
He takes your face in his hand and he says, "It's a wide galaxy out there. Where do you want to go?"
Yeah, she just hugs him and says, home.
What do you mean
I think
by
we
that?
cut the scene there. Exactly.
Okay. Are you planning on showing this to us, or?
Yeah, no, but I think we like as the whole crew we should talk.
Right,
now.
right. Yeah, I know that. I just want to make sure you had an idea for that, or it wasn't just some like esoteric like wherever Vigo is, that's home. Like,
oh, that's definitely the answer. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So everybody's kind of getting ready to go on third time's a charm. And yeah, the Evangelia, the people of Evangelia, kind of wave you off. And this is like, Evelyn, where are you? Like, because I think you guys came here on the ship, so you probably have to leave on the ship with them. So maybe this conversation doesn't actually happen yet. Maybe it's like everybody leaves and then you stop at like Midas, for example, right? And that's the point where everybody's gonna like part ways, because there's not really a ship for you guys to take on Xanless. No, so maybe it's even like a moment where like everybody's getting settled and they're like, okay, well, where are we going next? And maybe Vigo just like looks at you and then looks back and says, "Can you drop us off on Midas?" And whoever's piloting the ship, which I think is Ode probably at this point, given you're the only person with pilot left, I guess you probably just are like, okay, like I guess we're on there first. And luckily, this is a new ship that does not have you're not flagged in the system for the Athens Association trying to hunt you down for destroying their capital ship here, but or stealing it. But you guys are kind of like just on a landing pad, and Vigo has like a bunch of like packs, like your guys' luggage, and is taking it off the ship and like putting it on the landing pad, and looks back up and looks to you like you want to say your goodbyes.
So Vigo kind of decided for us that we're going to go to Midas because that's his home. Is that what you're?
No, this is like you need a ship, right? They're going to take third times the charm to Earth. So,
oh, I see.
Unless you're going to ride with them all the way, right? Like at some point you're going to go off somewhere else, right? And you need another ship to do that. And so it's like the closest planet, just drop us off there, and then from there we'll leave. Actually, for full circle's sake, let's say this is New Kazern you end up at, right? The planet that used to have the high-tech alien technology and all that stuff that Ode went to, and you guys landed and had Ode and Dylan had their first date here and all that stuff. So the first proper planet we actually went to. It's you're on a landing pad and Vigo looks at you, Evelyn, like, do you want to say your goodbyes?
Yeah. So I think like we see she's like standing at the edge of the walkway, right? Like the like, what's it called? The thing that
The ramp.
The ramp, yeah. And she just turns around and looks at you all, and she says, Figa, when I talked about it a bit, and well, I figured from everything that happened between us, and she kind of like looks back at Vigo and like looks for his smile, and I'm assuming he like nods and smiles. Yeah. So like looking for that like confidence boost, because this is going to be really hard. And she turns back and she says, after everything that I did to you all and put you through, and for having to deal with me for so long, I just assumed that, well, it would be time for me to say goodbye.
Ziva's looking at all of you like,
yeah. Yes, I mean, like, Oda look at Ferguson. If Ferguson doesn't say anything, he'll just look back over it. Evelyn say, I mean, you don't have to leave. If you want to leave, you can. I mean, it's up to you. But I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff has gone on, and honestly, I'm not sure everything's even really been resolved. But I mean, you're still part of the family. That's not going to change. I mean,
Ziva starts like tearing up. She's like, Evelyn, don't go.
She's really shocked by hearing Ode say that.
Yeah.
Like, especially that first line of just like, well, you don't have to go if you don't want to. She's like, oh. And I think she never really thought if she wanted to or not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, up until now, there hasn't been a lot of choice, because it was like, you could leave, but then the world will die. For all of the worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when Ziva like tears up, Evelyn like kneels down and is like, oh, Ziva, and like holds out her arms to like have her hug her.
Yeah, Ziva runs over. Hug.
And then I think after hearing that from Odin, Ziva, I think she just kind of like turns and looks at Dylan and Fergus. Then it's like, are you guys? What do you guys think? How do you guys feel?
Yeah, Odin's looking at them too, because he's
part
like,
of
I
the
said
ship,
a thing.
part of the crew.
One of us. One of... Yeah.
So I think I kind of missed some of the context of the conversation. Obviously, the context is like Evelyn saying, "I'm going to go with Vigo," right?
Yeah, basically we're getting off the ship right now. Like Vigo's got our luggage, and I turned around to be like, yeah, I basically assumed you guys didn't want me after everything that happened.
Yeah, Dylan just says, Evelyn, we've had our disagreements, but I was about to say there was never a time where we didn't want you here, but that's not true.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Say something nice, but don't lie.
Yeah, I think she just says, but there was never a time where you weren't a part of the crew.
I think like it's almost as if like she can breathe for the first time.
since she betrayed them.
Yeah. And she just says, well, in that case, I think I might just stay.
Vigo smiles and he says, I've always wanted to see Earth. I think that might be where we close.
I think no, that's not where we close. Evelyn comes up and or while she's hugging Ziva, she like stands up and just like opens her arms to the whole group and initiates a group hug.
And everyone rejects her.
Yeah, no, I kind of am half assuming that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I know. I mean, like,
hugs them.
Yeah. Ode is probably like, oh, is that okay? Like hesitantly, but then sees somebody else do it first. And they go, okay, there we go.
Fergus, you joined the group hug?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody hugs and yeah, I don't think I have a better line to end on there. I think we just see the group hug kind of do the wide shot. If we continue to pan outward, zoom outwards, see the landing pad with just you guys hugging. Does anyone have any other last scene they want to do? Guess otherwise.
30 years into the future.
Yeah, I don't think we should do a future cut. I think
no, I don't think we should either. Yeah, I think the last thing we see is, we see the guy we saw at the beginning of season 3 in the flashback, right? This like pastor or someone, right? He's sitting at a table watching the newsreel of like your reintegration with the Empire or whatever, the White Sun Protectorate is here to save the day, to, stamp out the Imperium, all that stuff. And I think we just hear him say, let me find this. He just smiles as he's watching the newsreel and then kind of mutters to himself, "There will be no more night. They will not need the light of a lamp or the light of the sun, for the Lord God will give them light, and they will reign forever and ever." And we just get the end credits Elysian Road music and call it there.
So I just realized that Ode and Dylan were both wearing like gas masks. So I don't know how she would have.
You rip off the gas mask and kiss him. It's fine. Like you can breathe in it a little bit, and it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe for the serious moment, like you guys both took off your gas masks for a little while.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, cool. That's been Elysian Road. We'll go ahead and end it here, do an after show. And
I actually don't think we should do an after show.
Yeah, I should probably go to bed.
Not only that, but I think we should wait and do a full after show next week.
Well, we can't do it next Tuesday because Jared is taking his class.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
maybe a different time then.
So that's
that way we can have a full time to discuss
if it's like
everything.
An hour, 2 hours, you could probably do it.
Well, you said you were free on Saturday, right? Was that
I'm free? I'm free this Saturday.
We could do like an hour on a Saturday or something, and I could.
I can do that.
An hour on Saturday or an hour on Tuesday. I think that way we can really fully discuss the whole of the thing. And I think we should all come up with different questions and different things to.
Yeah, no, I can do that too.
Ask and
do a whole final,
like we did with Orphans
post show,
and with Crow Inquisitors post show or post podcast show.
Post mortem, I think is what we called it. Yeah, sounds great to me. Yeah, awesome. We'll schedule that and plan on it. And I'd also love to get your guys' thoughts on If we could maybe, do an hour or two of something, get your thoughts on starts with that number as a system too, right? Kind of make that part of it. Sounds great. Well, thanks for playing, guys. That was a blast. I'm glad we got to finally get to the end here. We didn't actually make it to episode 40. Episode 39 is apparently where it ends. That's a weird number to end on, but oh well. But hey, I'm fine with this because that means we get to play Crow Inquisitors again, which I'm very, very pumped about. So,
and we would have had to wait what a couple weeks potentially to do it, to finish it, unless we.
Right. No, I am glad that we managed to finish it this session. That's a good place to end schedule wise. So we can, even if we can't do a regular session until you're done, Jared. We're not waiting on something necessarily. So cool stuff. All right. We're out. Adios.